Well, they can't all be winners. Bottom line, and tonight was a rough one. The Golden State Warriors will not be undefeated in the 2025-2026 season, and that's okay. No one expected that. Were there aspects of the team's loss that were very disappointing? Were there areas of the game where the Golden State Warriors could have played better and or improved? Yes, no doubt about that. But the good news is it was a night where the Warriors played their third in 4 nights. It was the second of a back-to-back immediately following that OT thriller just the night before. And the world is not ending because the Golden State Warriors lost at Portland. And Portland, side note's a good team. Golden State just did not show what they didn't look like a team prepared. They didn't play the right players. There were just a lot of things that I think they could have done differently in hindsight. Let's talk about it. The professor, Armando Lara, is going to join me soon. In fact, as soon as he shows up. And until then, we'll have some fun. I'm sure he's going to have some words. He's going to have some interesting opinions. Let's get into it. It is Friday. That is the good news. That is great news. That's always something that eases the palate of life, if you will. So let's talk about, again, a disappointing loss. Real quick, T420 in the chat's asking, do you agree? Agree with who? That Brandon Pajemski is a max player in the future of the team. Who's saying that? Because hell no. Like, why would anyone even insinuate such nonsense? At this point, Brandon Pajemski should not make more money than Moses Moody, let alone be a max player. He did not have a good night. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. And again, the professor Armando Lara joining us in just a second. We are presented by FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days and the Believe Network. And this is Golden Days. Let's go. Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. I'm your host. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild over on Twitter. My handle is at Surf Journalist. And the really toxic mofos, I guess they're on both sides, but a few came out of the woodwork tonight on the Twitter scene. Just psychotic, angry sons of bitches. And you know what I tell everybody on social media who's trolling, who's gaslighting, who's just making shit up or just has really strong beliefs that they do not want to delineate from? I always invite them on the show. I'm like, let's talk it out. Let's have some discourse. Usually when someone actually comes on the show, at least with an open mind, some peace is discovered and civility usually is achieved. And anyway, so if you have any opinions or whatnot, jump on. I'll post the link in a little bit. And even before I post the link, want to give some love to our sponsors on this Friday evening. And first up is FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days. And again, a partnership, a sponsorship we're elated to have, even with all the gambling sketchiness in the news, which dominated the news cycle pertaining to the NBA. I still love FanDuel, and we're proud to have them as a sponsor. Keep in mind, folks, for all the people blaming the legalization of gambling, the prevalence of gambling in terms of sponsorships and advertising, because make no mistake, FanDuel and its competitors and other organizations, institutions in the same realm, they didn't come up with gambling. They're not the ones who created it. It's not like gambling drama and illegal activities started with them. It's been going on for ages. I mean, if you follow baseball, we're the Black Sox. Didn't that happen in like over 100 years ago? It's just a part of life, man. People love the juice. And in the old days, you had bookies. Now you've got apps and computers. Still, it's going to happen no matter what. Anyways, I say all that because, again, FanDuel is an official sponsor of the program, and we're proud to be partners with them. I don't want to talk NBA here when it comes to FanDuel for tonight, because The Warriors don't play again until Monday, a well-deserved 2 days off. So I'm going to focus to the football team I love, the San Francisco 49ers. They're in Houston this weekend, taking on the Texans. They are 1.5-point underdogs. They are plus 110 with the money line. The OU on that game, 41.5. If Niner Mac is playing, I love the money line. If Brock Purdy's back, I have no clue what to expect. I'll take the word of someone else who studies the Niners on a daily and maybe on an hourly basis. But I love Niner Mac, and I have no clue if he's going to play. If he does, I feel good about it. I feel good about the 49ers when he's behind center taking snaps. So again, that's the line courtesy of FanDuel, and of course you could bet. They have a casino. They've got the sportsbook. FanDuel is phenomenal. Today's episode also brought to you by DeleteMe, an unbelievable service. If you need help either with privacy, with protecting your identity, protecting your data, and or you might be trying to scrub a digital footprint that maybe got tarnished a little bit, that maybe got a little murky out there. Maybe you were doing stuff in your past that does not fit the proper level of conduct that certain employers maybe expect from you. And in situations like that, DeleteMe is an unbelievable service. They exist to help you because data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the internet can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, but now you can protect your privacy with DeleteMe. What do data breakers do? They take your information, whether it's contact info, social security numbers, home addresses, and all that information is compiled by data brokers and sold online. That's why you need DeleteMe to step in and protect you. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/pro and use the promo code PRO at checkout to get 20% off. That's the only way you're going to get that discount. Go to joindeleteme.com/pro. Use the promo code PRO at checkout, and that's 20% off your order. One more time, joindeleteme.com/pro, and make sure you use that promo code PRO at checkout. The Golden State Warriors, unfortunately, losers tonight in Portland. What do they call that place now? Moda? I don't even know what Moda is. But then again, I don't really know what Rakuten is, and that's on the Warriors jerseys. I know it's like a shopping thing. Whatever Moda is, they call the former, I think they used to call it the Rose Garden. That's what I grew up remembering Portland's arena being named. And now they call it the Moda Center. Again, I have no clue what Moda is, but that's where the Warriors played and lost tonight. Final score 139-119. And the Warriors looked sluggish. The pace of this game was frenetic, meaning fast, meaning every time Portland had the ball, they were just pushing. The Warriors never had a chance to breathe in this game. Stephen Curry did his best. I want to start with our golden boy, the man who a lot of people right now are listening. You know what? I'm going to go back to FanDuel because a lot of people are mentioning Steph as an early MVP favorite, just 3 games in. And I wonder if FanDuel has revised their odds on the MVP to include Steph. I don't know what Steph's old odds were, but Steph currently right now, in terms of the MVP favorites, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, is the favorite to repeat. He's plus 160. Nikola Jokic plus 390, along with Victor Wembanyama, whose odds undoubtedly skyrocketed. And we'll do the scoreboard show later tonight. We're bringing that back for the end of every show. I'm excited for that. Luka Doncic is a plus 500. Giannis Antetokounmpo plus 1,300. Anthony Edwards plus 2,700. Kate Cunningham, Alperen Şengün, and Stephen Curry are next up. They all have plus 10,000 odds. Now, can Steph maintain this level of excellence as someone who turns 38 as we welcome Armando Lara to the program? We shall see. But he had an unbelievable night. Real quick, Armando, I'm going to read off Stephen Curry's stat line for the evening. He thankfully did not play a heavy dose of minutes, largely because the Warriors got blown. They got blown out. I guess you could say that. This game was over by the beginning of the fourth quarter. Steph played 27 minutes, 18 seconds, 12 of 22 from the field, 7 of 14 from beyond the arc. Yes, folks, that is 50% shooting from three, perfect 4 of 4 from the charity stripe, grabbed 6 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, did have 4 turnovers. The Warriors had a massive turnover issue tonight, which correlates with the frenetic pace I was mentioning a moment ago with the Portland Trailblazers, where not only offensively did they push the ball, but defensively they were swarming. They've got a fantastic defensive club. They forced 25 turnovers on the Golden State Warriors tonight. Stephen Curry with 4 of those. Steph did also have 2 blocks and a steal, so 35 points on the night, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, again, for Stephen Curry in the losing effort. And we welcome Armando Lara to the program, the professor, the host of Sprewell Was Right, along with his cousins. How are you doing, brother? What was your reaction to this disappointing loss by the Warriors tonight? Good to see you. We just started, by the way, so I haven't covered anything yet.
Doing good, man. Out here in Vegas. Came out here to put a bet on the Warriors.
Yes.
Feeling good. Loving the town. I got to watch the Warriors games with a diverse crowd of people who watch games, people who kind of don't watch, but they're watching it because they're betting. Very, very interesting insights from listening to fans.
Sure. What casino are you in right now?
I'm in the Westgate, the sportsbook at the Westgate. Yep.
What's the Westgate? Is that part of something else, or is that like its own building?
It used to be the International where Elvis was. It's a shitty hotel.
I like that though, man. It brings character and a level of class that I appreciate. Dude, I have a lot of notes for tonight's game, Armando. I mentioned Stephen Curry's stat line, and despite the 4 turnovers, I don't think you can blame him for this game. That the Warriors lost in spite of his effort. And I thought the starting 5 for the most part did okay. For the most part, Quentin Post left a lot to be desired. I thought of all the veterans who may be looking sluggish coming off a back-to-back. Jimmy Butler was the one who showed his age the most tonight. Like Steph seemed fine. Draymond, I guess it depends on the eye of the beholder, whether or not he was struggling a little bit playing the second of a back-to-back. I've heard people complaining about his conditioning, largely based off the aesthetic, meaning they look at him and they think that's a fat dude. Like, that does not look like someone who's in shape. But Draymond doesn't always necessarily how he looks doesn't always reflect how he feels. Meaning, even if he might look a little bit out of shape, you'd be surprised what he could do playing 40 minutes a night. But Jimmy Butler he didn't look great. And I thought the evidence, the measurable, which reflected his sluggish physical approach tonight, came at the free throw line. Jimmy Butler finished this game with 14 points, added 3 rebounds, 4 assists, along with a steal. Only had 1 turnover, which was good. Had 2 3-point attempts and missed both of those. And I don't think in either of those situations he should have even shot the ball. It was just one of those kinds of nights. He played 26 minutes, 43 seconds. But the evidence for him being a bit sluggish, maybe him being a bit tired, maybe showing his age a little bit, was at the free throw line. In case you have not been following the bet, it's a season-long bet between Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, and the bet involves who's going to have a higher free throw percentage, either Stephen Curry or Jimmy Butler. Jimmy bet on himself, Draymond bet on Steph, and it looks, to me, I think Stephen Curry is going to easily win this thing. Steph is now a perfect 20 of 20 to start the season, has yet to miss a free throw. Jimmy missed 1 at home against the Nuggets last night, but he missed 2 tonight. He was 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and I think those 2 missed free throws were his last 2 free throws. It was just, look, Jimmy Butler doesn't normally do that. He doesn't miss free throws. If he does, it might be 1 here or there randomly, not 2 in a row. But he looked lethargic out there, man. Defensively, I thought he was a step slow. Offensively, I don't think the typical aggression came from him. What was your impression of this team as a whole in terms of playing their third game in 4 nights. Did you see any wear and tear? Like, what was your take on that?
What do you guys think I'm going to say tonight?
Well, I'm building it up. I don't want to just jump. I don't want to just dive right in. I want to cover all the bases before we get to the meat of the sandwich, if you will. We're still on the bread part. Real quick, Jimmy Butler, what was your take on his game tonight?
Jimmy can't play back-to-backs. I mean, this ain't the Eastern Conference. We got an Eastern Conference All-Star to come play in the West. That's the message I was conveying all summer. It's a gauntlet, and that's what we're in for. That's the bed we made. So this is what it's going to look like when you go for the 3-0 on a back-to-back situation. There was someone in the chat said fatigue setting in. Yes, it is, but that's not. You need to start looking at that. That is not a bug. That is a feature of the system. It's a feature, not a bug. The fatigue is setting in. That's a big difference. So that is who we are. So
were you surprised to see the veterans? Because Al Horford, we all know it's reported that he's not going to play back-to-backs. I don't think he's played back-to-back since 2021. Someone can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But my understanding is outside of Al Horford, when it comes to the other 3 veterans, it's going to depend. We haven't really gotten a clear-cut, straight answer in terms of what the approach is going to be with these 3, referring to Steph, Dre, and Jimmy. I was genuinely surprised that all 3 were suiting up tonight. I thought a huge reason why this team has the depth that it does was to take advantage of that on nights like these, where you can give your stars a rest and roll with the youngsters, roll with this depth that's still missing DeAnthony Melton, still missing Seth Curry. Did have Moses Moody back tonight, but he didn't look that good. Were you shocked at all to see like Steph, Dre, and Jimmy Butler all play? And I do agree with you that Jimmy Butler should not be playing back-to-backs. If this is what we're going to get, that experiment needs to end like now.
No, it didn't surprise me. I could tell from Steph's comments after game 2, like they are into this play at a playoff level intensity to start the season, to rack up some wins so that they can rest later on. That's to build up momentum. So they feel a little lucky they got away 2-0. And so they were like, you know what, let's just go for this. Let's see if we can get a 3-0. And I think when we went through the schedule a few weeks ago, me and Cy literally went through every game. This is exactly the kind of game I was talking about with the Western Conference Gauntlet. There are people in the chat saying, honestly, Portland's really good, so you shouldn't be that surprised by it. This is the Western Conference. This is what I'm talking about. It's athletes. Everybody's playing fast. Everybody's copying the Pacers. The pace is on a next level this year, and this is what it is. And honestly, you would think we need to rest in the back-to-backs. We have to out of necessity, not because it's a fucking good idea. So the back-to-backs this year are all against bad teams, against winnable teams that might be tanking at some point. Those are must-win games. There's only so many fucking double overtime games we can win against playoff teams. Excuse me for swearing. I'm out here in Vegas, so things get away from me. But these are going to be must-win games, and yeah, that's what was tonight. So no, I was not surprised to see them play, to go for it.
Yeah, but they're going to have to change the approach, I think, because otherwise you're going to wear these guys down. You're increasing the risk of injury. And look, if you won,
they're going to get injured.
Yeah. So, and if you won the game, that's one thing, but you didn't. So it's just a bad look all around. Really quickly before we get to the negatives, because I know there's a lot of them, and I know you have a lot to get off your chest pertaining to a few individuals. I think you're looking good tonight. Al Horford didn't play. If we were doing the show last night, I don't know how good you would have looked based off your criticism of Al Horford. Tonight, he sat out. Brandon Pajemski came off the bench. I didn't think he looked good at all. We're going to talk about that in just a second, though, because there were quite a few rotational decisions which I thought were head scratchers, like just Kerr doing Kerr things again, Hobbit ball in full steam. There was a lineup out there, for example, where Jimmy Butler was your center. And I'm not making that up. He literally was the biggest player out there, and there was no ambiguity about what position Jimmy Butler was playing out on the floor. He was their center. Moses Moody was the 4. Will Richard was the 3. I have it written down in terms of who the 5 people were. I can't remember. GP2 didn't play till the second half, so it was Pajemski and I think Steph rounded out the 5. Like, how is that excusable? Like I'll repeat that again in just a second because I want to first start on the positives real fast because there were a couple of them, and first and foremost was Jonathan Kuminga. I thought Kuminga played fantastic basketball. I thought the only issue with Kuminga's game tonight was he was too passive. He's trying to make Kerr so happy by being this distributor, by being someone who doesn't take shots that maybe could end up in Stephen Curry's hands. You also notice, side note, and I don't know why this is, I'm guessing it's by design, but Kuminga's minutes seem to be matching Steph's, like second for second. Like when Steph goes to the bench, so does Kuminga. When the Steph comes back, so does Kaminga. You see them even sitting together. And look, I love that. I'm not complaining about that, but I don't understand why Kaminga can't be out there without Steph so that he could maybe be your number 1 scoring option at times. And there are moments where I do think he's going to have to start taking over, but he's also so afraid of Kerr yanking him because Kerr, again, is Kerr. He's a weirdo when it comes to rotations and his peculiarities about who to play. But I thought Kaminga had a solid game tonight. He was one of the only individuals out there who I thought showed up. Finished the game second on the team in scoring, 16 points. Led the team in rebounding, had 8 boards, 3 assists, had 2 steals as well. Did have 4 turnovers. There were a lot of players who committed a lot of turnovers tonight. It was ugly in that department. Was a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line as well. Had a couple of monstrous dunks. Friendly reminder, man, when a player just like thunders down a ball through the rim like that, it does help with momentum. I know it's just 2 points, but when you're shutting up a crowd like that and just kind of, making everybody take a step back for a second, like you're building momentum off plays like that. I love it. Dunks are a part of basketball, and Kaminga had a few huge ones tonight. I thought he had a great game. What'd you think?
JK is the man. He's out there doing way more than what people realize. He's out there guarding 3 guys. He is all over the court. We're talking point of attack defense. He's the help man, and he's the rebounding guy. And what I see him unleashed. See, I don't chat. You guys know me. I don't judge players individually, their individual games. No, I never do that. I look at the context of who's on the floor and who they're playing against. And what's changed about JK the last 3 games, it ain't JK and it ain't the coaching. It ain't some wisdom being imparted from guys in suits who play golf. What it is he's being played by and with Stephon Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. They're being played together. That's why JK looks great. And that could have been the case with Andrew Wiggins. Same deal, same thing. He's being unleashed playing with the best players next to him. That's why he looks good. And then he's being asked to carry as the power forward with a lame duck center and 3 guards. Will Richards is the latest guard being miscast as a small forward. They're ruining his career just like they doing to Moses Moody. I know everybody's excited about it, but I see what's really going on. And JK is being asked to carry the load. Dude, chat, here's my prediction with this JK stuff. He looks so good. This team they're only in the games because of him. He is the backbone of this defense right now. And people are not seeing it for what it is. And here's my prediction. He going to get hurt playing like this. He going to get hurt playing power forward with 3 guards, doing everything and doing what he's doing with the starters. I'm really worried about it. He got hurt playing power forward last year, and it's concerning. He is the man. This dude is an all-star level player. And I want to highlight something. He's been so good. I mean, it's not a surprise to me. He's been this good for a while. It's a lot of clowns out there saying that he's grown. Anytime you see somebody, actually, I have a sociology point to make here, so I'll hold that off. But about perceptions of young athletes. But he is the second best player on this team. And he's not being paid like it. He's not the second best player in the hierarchy in terms of distributions of shots, nor is he thought of as the second best player. But on the scouting report, this is the guy that's being game planned for. And this is the guy that is carrying the load on defense. And this is the guy that is expected to play the whole season. So you have to see it what it is. It's just the salary has not caught up with it. So it's not evident to people who can't think critically. They have to repeat what the average opinion is out there.
Yes.
So I see that's how good he is. And it's being slowly evident to it because he's actually playing with the best players right now.
And I zero pushback on you for any of that. I agree. And I also was not, me personally, I didn't agree with the decision to pull him along with the other starters in the fourth quarter. The Warriors basically threw the towel with about 10 minutes left in the game. They were trailing by double digits for almost the entire second half, pretty much from the second quarter on. And they pulled him in the fourth quarter. Kaminga played a total of, hold on, my fourth quarter box score right here. He played, Kaminga and Draymond, I'm sorry, they both played 3 minutes and 9 seconds of the fourth quarter, meaning they were given about a 3-minute run. Steph played 2 minutes, 39 seconds of the fourth quarter, and then they threw the white towel and they pulled him. Like, I maybe it was a good decision. I don't have a strong opinion on this, but I don't know why, given his age, why, he's not at a point yet where he has all the experience he needs. Like why not leave him out there and have him help you, push for a comeback? At a bare minimum, have him pad some stats. I didn't understand. He only played 24 minutes, 8 seconds for the whole game.
So I mean, it's because they know they're already hitting the nitrous oxide. What's that when the cars in Fast and Furious, when they have to beat the race and they hit the button and some like blue flame comes out? Like that's already what they're doing with JK. So it's, you never, I mean, I don't judge individual player performances ever. That's why net rating per game is a joke stat. And I also don't judge individual games. This game is in the context of the last two always, and they burned the nitrous oxide. And so did I get that right? Evan is 6 can help me out in the chat if that's the right blue flame reference. But JK, they lost this game in the end of the second quarter when JK, I think he had to go to the bench. He was in foul trouble or something like that. He did not finish, and they gave up the lead like immediately with 3 guards. And then by that point, Portland's on fire. So they came out and the starters couldn't do nothing about it because it was just a green light. Jeremiah Grant against 3 guards is a 1 bump, and then it's a layup line. Woo, boy, they look good. Same with Drew Holiday. 1 bump, little fadeaway, easy money. Cannot play 3 guards in 2025. It is loser basketball always.
And this is the second game in a row that Kaminga found himself in foul trouble in the first half, picking up 3 fouls in tonight's game. He got pulled, like you said, before the end of the first half because of that foul trouble, but played 24 minutes, 8 seconds total. Truth in the chat, $1.99 donation saying trade Kaminga. And again, Truth, I can't tell how much he's trolling because he did this last night too, but saying trade Kaminga. And side note, last night, the game where the Warriors beat the Nuggets, a thriller. Truth, first comment, Buck99 saying trade Kaminga. So I don't know how serious this person is, but again, if you're dropping paid donations, we'll read your comment. We're a business. He's saying trade, or she saying trade Kaminga, Moses Moody, and Pajemski. Just lose your emotional attachments. That makes no logical sense. I mean, if we're going to trade emotional attachments, trade everybody. I mean, trade Steph, trade Draymond. Like, why keep anybody if emotional attachments are the main issue for keeping someone? I digress, though. But true, thank you for the donation, and strongly agree to disagree with your sentiments of trading Kaminga. Now, Brandon Pajemski, on the other hand, who did not start tonight. Actually, before we get into this with Pajemski, because I think this is going to be, I don't know if contentious is the right word, but it's going to be an interesting topic. And I know you have strong opinions on it. And I've been trying to stay neutral, but it's going to get harder and harder if we see games like this on a consistent basis, he did not have a good night, plain and simple. It was, I mean, that's putting it kindly. But Steve Kerr made the decision to start Quinton Post tonight in place of Brandon Pajemski, and it didn't pay off. What in the first quarter, one thing I noticed right away, and this is a flag for Quinton Post. Donovan Clingan was out hustling him. There was a play early in this game where Donovan Clingan outraced Quinton Post and got an easy fast break dunk with no one defending him. Inexcusable. At a bare minimum, if Quinton Post, if he's out there, he has to be aware of the other bigs who he's responsible for defensively. And that was just a clear screw up for someone who was an all defensive player in college at Boston College. Clingan just really, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say with Quinton Post is he looks ineffectual out there. He's not doing anything of note. He's just existing. And he thankfully at least made a 3-pointer tonight, but Quinton Post, 15 minutes, 54 seconds, was 1 of 2 shooting from deep. So again, those were 3 of his 5 points. He also made another field goal, had 5 points in this game, 4 rebounds, no blocks. I'd like to see more of that, but he's not a force out there. Right. And I know he's young still. So Frank Red, infamously, his analysis will never leave my head. Every time I see Quinton Post, all I'm looking at are those narrow shoulders. That was Frank Red's analysis. Frank Red played D1 basketball for Fordham. So I'm gonna like listen to him at least when he's giving that kind of scouting report on a player. And to him, Quinton Post is someone who is just not going to be big enough to handle other NBA centers. And I thought tonight was an example of that. He just was irrelevant. And that's unacceptable. Like, because Al Horford is not going to play in any of these back-to-backs. And Quinton Post was supposed to be the guy who steps up. Now, his backup is Trayce Jackson-Davis. And I thought Trayce Jackson-Davis, if you folks watch the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. There was a play where he did like this Euro step type move. Was it like a fast break? I can't remember what the setup was for this possession, but he got the ball and he had a clear-cut lane to the rim. And I can't remember again if this was like a full court fast break play or if he just had an open lane and had an easy drive to the bucket and he just missed the layup. Do you remember that play, Armando?
I did, yeah.
And it wasn't a good look. I also don't think you pull him just for that one play, but that's what Steve Kerr did. Steve Kerr was so frustrated by that missed layup, he yanked him. He yanked like one of the only 2 bigs on this team who could at least play defense out there, grab some boards against a very tall, very big Portland team. And I think that was the moment where we saw – I'll bring that up again in a second. And I think that was the moment where we saw that infamous 5-guard lineup tonight, or at least 4 guards and a forward. And again, those 5 players, I have it in my notes. You can't make this shit up, man. It's insane that Steve Kerr does this. Here were the 5 players that were out there. It wasn't Steph. It was Pat Spencer, Brandon Pajemski, Moses Moody, Will Richard, and Jimmy Butler. And they closed the fourth quarter together. And I think that was the result of Kerr being upset with Trayce Jackson-Davis missing that layup. If someone wants to add some information to that story there, please do in the chat. But you don't respond to being frustrated with your young center missing a layup inadvertently. It's not like he intentionally did it. He made a mistake. He got yanked. And Steve Kerr rolls this like pretty much a 5-guard lineup out there. Naturally does not do well. The Warriors closed the first quarter, falling. They were leading by 8. Portland goes on an 11-3 run. That is with the exclamation point being this 5-guard lineup. Like the run continued on into this 5-guard lineup. So the first quarter ends with the game tied at 28 when the Warriors had an 8-point lead. And Portland comes right back. It correlates with that 5-guard lineup. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is when Al Horford doesn't play, the Warriors better figure something out about the size issue. Because if Quinton Post is going to be like an average schmo out there like this. And if Trayce Jackson-Davis is not going to get the trust of the coaching staff, this is a potentially concerning pattern. What are your thoughts on this center position? And if you want to comment on that 5-guard lineup, now's the time.
So chat, I don't judge individual performances from players. I judge the context they're in always, even if I freaking think that player should be playing in Australia. Comment on Quentin Post's context on defense and his context on offense. And then I want to
keep talking. I'll be right back. I got to keep going.
Oh, yes, chat. Let's go. And I want to comment on TJD extensively here. So Quentin Post, offensively, the reason he was so good last year and he looked so great is because the motion offense they were running was designed to get that guy a chuck 3 at the end of shot clock. He was literally our offense. That was it. It was pass, Pods pass, Butler pass, Draymond pass, Curry double teamed, 2 seconds left, post chuck. And he looked pretty good doing that, right? And they're not running the motion offense anymore. They don't do it. It's Jimmy ball. This is a big change in what's going on. And it's why Post is suffering a little bit today. He doesn't have a place in this offense. And so he's not making that impact. The offense now is find the weak spot and attack it relentlessly. It doesn't matter if it's send the right screen for Curry, if it's Jimmy Butler, get it. Jimmy Butler is a freaking master at identifying a mismatch. That's what he was doing against the Lakers. Just finding a little guard to beast. Just elite. Against the Nuggets when he was playing shooting guard, it was elite. That's the context of what's going on. Jimmy against a guard is unstoppable. It's unguardable, but he's playing power forward on this team. The thing is, on defense, what's going on with Quentin Post is it ain't the end of 2025 when they were playing tanking teams. He's playing against a young guy, in this case, Klingon, who's hyped. He's ready to play. They're trying to make a name for himself. This is not tanking teams like it was. Everybody got tricked at the end of last year. So he looked okay. Nobody was giving a shit. So it's the beginning of the year. It's a little more intense. But now let us talk about TJD and, his so-called missed, layups or whatever. They started TJD in playoff games.
They did.
And he was DMP'd before that. And I told you guys to rename him from TJD to DMP. And it's an absolute travesty. They are doing this guy's career dirty. He should be – we could talk about Horford too. Everybody's high on Horford right now. 100% of Horford's minutes should be going to TJD. That's how you get prepared for the playoffs. It's about having athletes on the court, people who are fast. That is ball in 2025. And let me tell you, if you sat my ass for months and months and months and didn't play me any kind of practice minutes with the starters, and you put me in a real game against Klingons, I would definitely miss some layups too. So that's what's the context of TJD tonight. So what are you building? Are you building to the ceiling of this team, or are you playing go home in a body bag 4.0? What is it?
Wait, I'm sorry. Were you asking a question? I missed that. I apologize.
Just rhetorical.
What was your rhetorical question? Can you repeat that one more time? I'm so sorry.
No, just TJD is an example of a guy who should be playing if you want to get to our ceiling. But if you're sitting him and only playing him when you get desperate, he's not going to look good. And that is the go home in a body bag program. They're my examples of that. It's the same crossroads they're in.
Well, let me give you a little pushback here. I don't know if this is pushback, but Trayce Jackson-Davis, and you're not the only one who's advocating for him to get more minutes, but there are times where he doesn't play great. Like he is not a consistent player. Like the layup thing he was doing last year as well in his rookie season, where he misses these really easy opportunities There are certain players who, when he's matched up with them defensively, just own him left and right. And that's where I don't mind having both him and Quinton Post. But tonight was an example, I thought, of where if Quinton Post is doing basically nothing, play Trayce Jackson-Davis. Don't go with neither. Don't go with Jimmy Butler as your center, right? like that is not the answer. Don't go with Kaminga as your center. I saw a lineup at one point where that was going on. I'm with you though. I'm definitely not opposed to Trayce Jackson-Davis having a bigger role. I just don't know if he's the answer consistently, because there are a lot of nights where he just doesn't deliver, and that's part of the reason, at least, why he gets these DNPs on occasion. Would you disagree with that? Like, do you think Trayce Jackson-Davis is consistently good?
In Jonathan Kuminga's second year, he got starters minutes with the best players, and they went 10-2. Steve Kerr got his contract, and then he went down with an injury, and he started TJD for about 10-15 games, and they were winning big. TJD has played long, consistent minutes as a starter next to our starters. Like, you can't get amnesia. This guy's probably gotten better. I mean, I'm not like his greatest fan, but it ain't that hard to play athletic basketball and to draft guys who are NBA athletes and actually play them. That's why I'm advocating it. It's not really about TJD. It's about having athletes on the court. It's 2025, and he is an athlete. Give him consistent minutes, and he will get better. Just like, do we just forget this with JK? Like, give the guy minutes, give Moody consistent minutes, have a consistent role, and they're going to play better. All of them. So
let me know if I interpret what you're saying accurately, or maybe just adding on to what you're saying here. I think what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that the lineup combinations are what's screwy. And that if Trayce Jackson-Davis was surrounded by good players and not being put out there with primarily backups, he'd probably be delivering on a consistent basis. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think he would look. Everybody would be raving his name just like they were the last 2 years. It's sad. They really F with guys' careers on this team. Like, it's going through the league. The agents are talking. Like, it's a real thing.
And we'll put the link up in just a second. We will bring folks on the show. For example, we have one disgruntled individual. We have a couple of disgruntled individuals. And what I've always asked of the audience in the chat is just don't resort to name calling. I could give two shits if you disagree with anybody. That's a part of the joy of what we do here. Just don't resort to calling people dumbasses. You don't know shit. Like just don't go to that level. I already saw one person trying to insult you, and don't insult the guests especially. So more specifically here, like, for example,
was it a good insult? Was it funny?
Well, I blocked them. They're gone because I'm not gonna, like, you're distracting from the program. Just you can disagree. Just don't call people names, man. That's the line. All right, and I think that's fair.
If you're gonna insult, it's gotta be funny.
What's up?
If you're gonna insult, it's got to be funny. Always, it's got.
Well, that helps. Yeah, it definitely helps keep things light. But like Mike G in the chat saying, like, "Wow, I can't listen to this BS." We'll open up the link in a second. So, Mike, if you want to come on the show and explain why you can't hear this BS and why you think it's BS to begin with, you will have that opportunity. I promise you. Yes, we will definitely bring the audience on the show tonight because I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of takes on a very disappointing game. We're also going to play sound from the moment it's actually available. I'm checking right now to see if, like, all I see so far in terms of attributions from Warriors coaches, players, so forth, is Sam Gordon. Side note, Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle. Next week's going to be a huge week for guests because we got Mark Jones, play-by-play legend, coming on the show. We have, I don't know if you're familiar with Shea Serrano, Armando, like, of The Ringer. And he's turned into like just a prolific writer. Like, he just constantly pumps out books. Shea Serrano is going to join the program, I think, next week as well. I'm really excited about that. So stay tuned. There's a good reason I was bringing all those guests up, and my stoner brain blank. So anyways, but I'm trying to. And Sam Gordon. That's what I brought up, because Sam Gordon, beat writer for the San Francisco Chronicle, he's going to join the show next Friday. So next week is just going to be a jam-packed a program with guests, meaning Armando, like you'll be part of a doubleheader that day. And Sam is tweeting what Steve Kerr said, but there's no video or audio yet. And this is what Steve Kerr said regarding Jonathan Kuminga. And I got 2 quotes for you to read out loud. And the moment the video is available, we'll play it. Steve Kerr said, quote, regarding Jonathan Kuminga, quote, his passing has improved dramatically. He's making so many good passes, not only in games, but in practices. I think he's seeing the floor better, but I just like the approach. I like the vibe that he's bringing, unquote. And again, this just goes back to what at least I'm seeing on the court, which is Kaminga is someone who's just trying to make Kerr happy, and he is making Kerr happy, and Kerr's keeping him out there. But there are nights like this where, and I'm not the only one who feels this way, I promise you that, where Kaminga, I think, should just take over. Like there are certain games where he needs, like, because when you see him actually flip that switch and go into 5th gear or 6th gear, whatever that top gear is for JK, like he is borderline unstoppable, man. And they could have used that tonight, but he's so passive. He's almost afraid of upsetting Kerr and being selfish. And I just hope that balancing act doesn't hurt the team more than help it, big picture. So Steve Kerr said that, 1. And 2, Steve Kerr also said, and this is interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Armando. Quote, Portland just dominated us tonight, took us out of everything. They were on fire. They were fantastic, and they deserved it, obviously, unquote. He also, Sam Gordon, added that Steve Kerr discounted Golden State's fatigue and credited Portland's force and two-way play. So Steve Kerr is basically not wanting to make excuses for the back-to-back, for the fact that this was the 3rd game in 4 nights. What are your thoughts on Kerr's words, Armando?
Chat, you guys, I have so many trolls now that just tell me I'm wrong and talking nonsense. The coach is literally telling you what I've been saying. He's just saying it in a nice way, in a magic man, gumdrop lane, make you feel good way, like in a way that confuses you so you don't know what's really going on. Yes, fatigue was a factor, but that is a feature of our system, not a bug. Yes, the Blazers shot the lights out, just like every fucking team does against us. Why do they shoot? Why does every team for 4 years have been shooting plus on us constantly? It's because we have 3 guards that can't close out, and we play guys who can't close out, nor can they prevent their man from just walking by them. And so yes to both of those things. And finally, that is what the West is going to be like. It is always like that. It's going to be that way. This is the 82-game gauntlet. It is not play 57 games on the Miami Heat, make the finals from the 8th seed. It ain't that. This is 2025 in the West. So he's literally telling you what I'm saying. So, I hear those things. And let's could I take a moment to address the JK quote that made me vomit in my mouth?
Okay.
Man, I've been seeing this all week, and my buddy Evan, who's a Hollywood writer, was telling me it was inspiring him to make a movie, but just the sheer just celebratory expression of joy over how much JK has grown is vomit worthy. And I want to talk about this for a second. So this is what happens to certain young, gifted men who look a certain way in professions everywhere, in my own profession and in professional sports.
I'll take off the sugarcoating. You're saying white and fair skinned. Is that right? Fair, like Steve Kerr's definitely got the surfer type, like blonde, blue eyed look. That am I not? Is that not what you're trying to say?
No.
Forgive me.
Young, gifted men of color who have IQ, athletic, who would take the old guys by storm if evaluated, get discounted by on purpose. And when they start doing good, then it becomes cathartic to then explain it, oh, he finally listened to our wisdom. He finally opened up his mind to the fountain of, and in 2 months, he's now a completely different player. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm now playing him with the best players on the team. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm now giving him 30 plus minutes a game consistently. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, it completely absolves the system in place of people that were keeping him down in the first place. It's a useful narrative to tell them all good. That is all good. And the vets, I like to say that the vets know this stuff goes on, but it's kind of like you got to pay your dues, and they got skin in the game too. So they're not going to come out and call out the powers that be, because they're making money from the whole game too. And, I feel real. This kid is going to get paid. He's going to be a top 10 type player in this league, whether it's on the Warriors or on an East Coast team. It's been clear if you know how to watch ball. And, it's real. It's offensive to hear the way certain types of the media and certain types of fans talk about this young man's growth over the last like 2 weeks or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Agreed. I wholeheartedly agree. It is ridiculous. And the chat's agreeing with you. They love your words. And why don't we, on that note, shift gears to Brandon Pajewski? We'll also talk about Moses Moody.
You know what? One more point on JK before we move on.
Please.
He's still being held back. At Boots, the DJ made that point out, reminded me. Half of JK's turnovers right now are because he's in an attack position, and the entire team and defense knows this guy has like an 80% shot in front of him or a good chance of getting fouled. But he's caught in a place where it's too early in the shot clock for him to be allowed to score, to be the guy, to be the man that he is, the second best player on the court. And he has to pass it out. And his own teammates aren't ready for it. His own teammates are like, dude, you need to freaking take this. And in their minds, because of the hierarchy. And the way they're playing right now is get Steph a shot at all costs, no matter what. And that's not how they won the championship. At some point, back in the day, it was always whoever has the best shot, take it. Take the best shot. That was always what it was. It was the commie ball. And now it's actually like heliocentric. Get the ball to the guy who we just ran into the ground in a 7-game series, who ended up going home in a body bag. So I see that effect on JK every other play. He's still not unleashed. Man, I can't wait for that to happen.
And you have people in the chat, for example, like X-Man saying we are not a playoff or a play-in team if we run our offense through Kaminga. No one is saying that. That's you're misinterpreting what's being said here. What we are saying is don't run the offense through Kaminga, but don't pretend Kaminga is not insanely talented and could take over on a lot of nights. Like, instead of treating him like the facilitator that he is now, where he's mostly, again, what I see from him, and I forgot who it was yesterday. Someone joined the program during our live show last night and compared Kaminga to Andrew Wiggins. I've been comparing Kaminga much more so to Andre Iguodala in terms of the role that he's trying to adapt for this version of the Warriors, to stay on the court, to contribute in a manner that Steve Kerr thinks is most ideal. And whether or not that's right or wrong is a whole other issue. And then someone, I think last night, said that they see him as potentially being like Andrew Wiggins. And I know you love Wiggins. Like, is that a fair comp to you in terms of what Kaminga could be? And what are your thoughts on folks like X-Man saying that the Warriors are no good basically if they run the offense through Kaminga, which again is not what we're saying, but what we are saying is Kaminga has the talent easily, or at least I'm saying this, to be a 20 point per game player. Like that, I think, is a safe assumption to make, that this kid can give you 20 points a night if you just utilize it. But Steve Kerr is just like, again, he has a weird, narrow-minded view where everything starts with Steph, and nothing's necessarily wrong with that. But don't pretend that there aren't 4 other people out there, and some of those other people can also score, can also take over, can also just flip a switch and be unbelievable. Not to mention Steph needs help. Kaminga could help him. Your thoughts, Armando?
It's hard for me to get up to respond to binary comments. So
fair. Yep.
Like, I've been saying this for 4 years, but if you look, and we wrote a whole post comparing Steph Curry's end of his career to Kobe, Tim Duncan, and to Reggie Miller. It was a long post, and we looked at how those 3 vets' usage shifted at the end of their career. Many people don't realize Reggie Miller was about to win the championship in 2004 or 2005 before the Malice in the Palace.
Yeah, that was a good team. That was a damn good team. Yeah,
they literally shifted a quarter of Reggie Miller's usage, who was the same age as Steph, to a 22-year-old Jermaine O'Neal, who was an MVP candidate by year's end. And and he was literally an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old guy on Portland who could not get any minutes just because he wasn't ready. And Kobe Bryant failed to do that, and they paid him in 2015 and were selling tickets, and we're kind of headed that way. Tim Duncan completely shifted his usage, gave it up twice, to Tony Parker once, to Kawhi Leonard the next time. And, when you talk in binary, it's like, oh, give the keys to JK, and then like Steph's not going to shoot at all. So what I've been advocating for with Wiggins was get this young man as the ball handler in a pick and roll downhill. Did you guys see that dunk today? Like, that was out of a pick and roll on a center. That dunk that JK did, that was
crazy.
You don't see that kind of stuff. Like that was in an NBA game. And the man is a ball handler in the pick and roll. Now, what I'm advocating for is give me an offense where Jimmy and him, and it should have been Wiggins, doing that for 3 quarters, and let Steph rest. And then in the fourth, get the ball in Steph's hands in the pick and roll and let the man go supernova. Bring it home. He is 37, 38. That is the recipe for winning the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't this look for JK, give up great shots so we can try to get Curry a contested 3. That is not how this is going to work. That is how you end up with 30. What he scored tonight? 35, 37 points.
35, yes. Steph at 35.
Blowout.
Yeah.
They won that game too, barely, against the Nuggets, with Jokic not even trying that hard. And it wasn't just a Steph heroics game like it was in the Olympics. That was a Steph legend game.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and,
sir.
Steph is a legend, and that was a legend game. And that's what it took to win that game. So, what's the game plan here? The Go Home in a Body Bag program are nightly Steph legend games. It ain't even Steph heroics anymore. It's Steph legend games.
He's so we're blessed. We're to have him here in the Bay Area. And I never in my life thought someone would actually enter Joe Montana's sphere, his aura of greatness, if you will, just an equal. Joe Montana has an equal. And if Stephen Curry wins a title this year, he might be in a class of his own. It's insane. He is that unique, that one of a kind in terms of just being a very like people don't impress me much in this world. Like we're all human beings. We're just flesh and blood. Some of us have, our brains operate differently. And so it creates unique personalities, characteristics, different acumen levels, if you will. But, we're all just people. There are very few that stick out to me as just one of a kind, and one of a kind in such a positive way, man. Like nothing Steph does to me is a negative. Like nothing he does to me makes me cringe, makes me second guess. He's just we're blessed to have him is all I could say, man. And I don't really say that about much.
We can't burn this flame out, man. This dude is this dude is so good. He is a top 5 player of all time. And we have a chance to get a 5th ring. And man, ooh boy, are we on the go home in a body bag program 4.0.
Again, I'm not down on them like you are though. Like look, tonight sucked. And no one's, I don't think anyone who's a Warriors fan is happy about this, but I also was not surprised. I mean, given you know how much energy last night's overtime win took out of the Warriors, how big of a win that was to defeat the Nuggets, that was huge. And the fact that, by the way, Armando, what was your reaction? I'm in shock over this. I'm also very disappointed in my media colleagues. Huge surprise there that nobody has brought this up with Steve Kerr. How do you not think about that closing lineup? Like Steve Kerr admitted in last night's postgame when we played that soundbite that the team hasn't practiced once with those 5 and that it took a suggestion from assistant coaches Terry Stotts and Chris DeMarco. Apparently, and I love the fact, Armando, that it took 2 coaches, right? This is the fear of borderline terror that exists when it comes to Steve Kerr as a leader, manager, right? Like it's not like people can just comfortably approach him and push back or something like that. It took 2 coaches to collectively approach Steve Kerr and go, look, can we try this out? And how do you not think of this? How do you not, if you're the media, how do you not grill Steve and go, how is a common sense 5-man grouping not an idea that you've thought of, that you practiced with? And yet that is the reality of the situation. Until last night, Steve Kerr did not entertain the idea of Steph, Jimmy, Kaminga, Dre, and Al Horford on the court together. Side note, that 5-some, if the Warriors are going to win a championship this year, it's going to take those 5. And it's insane to me, man. What was your reaction when you first learned that? Because I didn't think I could be shocked anymore learning new things about Steve Kerr, yet there I was blown away.
Well, it's so stupid that I wonder if he was saying it ironically, because it's so unbelievable. Like, it might be that he was making fun of Steven Jackson for calling him out. I mean, for calling that lineup.
You think he was sarcastic?
Before, he was making him. I can't. If he's not, that's a fireable comment. Like, if you have a product on the floor, and the guy running it, the manager says that about your product, like, and then the best player comes out and said they never even practiced it. Honestly, it reminded me of, I brought this up in when I came on in June, when I dug up the Jonathan Kuminga quotes from January 2023, where they were killing it playing. He was starting with Andrew Wiggins, Draymond, and Curry, and they were like, "Hey, how come this looks so good now? We ever thought it would be bad?" And JK said, "We've never practiced together before ever. I've never even scrimmaged alongside Andrew Wiggins," and
that was a couple years ago.
Kind of reminded me of, it kind of reminded me of that, like, but if I could transition us, because I don't even think it's about Horford, like, that's not even the best lineup lurking on this team. And,
what do you think's better than
that? And I think the thing that should be the planet, the center of the solar system, is Jonathan Kuminga, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. Those 4 guys need to be playing 30 minutes together, and all the debate should be about who's the 5th guy on a nightly basis. Like, who's the 5th guy?
Who should be that 5th guy to you, Armando?
Well, the playoff lineup that they should be building to is Moses Moody as the 5th man there. That's the lineup that would protect Draymond as the small ball center. He would not get tired out. It would be lights out on defense. No team would be able to score. and it wouldn't matter that it's not the motion offense on offense, because they would be getting it in. They would be oversized at every position, and Jimmy Butler would be able to isolate the second best defender who's guarding him. If not, Kaminga would be able to do it. But Horford, I was railing on him all summer, and I continue to rail on him. What I saw is not good, and I'm happy to elaborate. We can say that to next time and see more evidence. But I encourage you guys to go check us out at Sprewell Was Right YouTube, where we broke down the first game of against the Lakers for about 40 minutes, and then we broke down 12 minutes of the Nuggets game because we got copyright infringed. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, but
that you're learning. It's a hard thing to realize that what you want to do isn't necessarily what you can do. Like the music part of it's very hard too. Like on YouTube, you can't play music, period. Like you'll get flagged immediately. Highlights. I don't know how folks like my friend Swish Culture, who's going to be back on the show soon, for example. Like, I don't know how he gets away with it, man. But like his entire YouTube platform is video highlights. Trice High, another individual who has 1 million YouTube subs. He makes documentaries about players like Stephen Curry, and those documentaries are full of copyrighted content. And I asked him this off the record, like, well, not off the record, but I mean off the air, like when we're not recording. I'm like, how do you get away with it? And everyone tells me is you just hope they don't flag you. And I guess they've lucked out to a certain degree, or they go through what you went through, which is you got to cut out a lot of stuff. So you're telling me your Sprewell Was Right video got you forcefully had to reduce it from a 50-minute show to 12?
The second one, we have 2 now. Okay.
And the second one, okay.
I kept the 12 one up because it actually, they allowed us to keep the kind of core takeaways, which was our systematic breakdown of Al Horford's pick and roll defense. We watched a few plays like 4 times just to illustrate the cement feet,
right?
And players not being scared.
Horford did get that one block though. He did get a block last night. You saw that, right? He actually jumped and got a block.
I mean, he's going to hit if you're not hitting a wide open corner threes in 2025 in the NBA, that's like thanking a dad for paying the electricity bill so the family has lights. Like you got to get it. You have to do that. But anyways, we broke it down. So I know you guys think he's a great defender, and it is just going to be like in 2023 when I was trying to tell people that Klay Thompson was the worst player on the court, and anytime he played more than 20 minutes, they were going to lose. Nobody wants to hear it. I'm just the worst person in the world for saying it. It's the exact same thing right now. It's just politics. He was the big signing, so he's got to play. But I just look at what's in front of me. I don't give a shit who you are. And I see the defense that's being played out there. It looked good against the Nuggets at the end of the game when Jokic wasn't really trying. He was chucking threes. He wasn't taking into the post. But it looked good. And that's the best lineup for Horford to play in when he's surrounded by wings. And that lineup that Kerr didn't think of, like that's what he had against the Celtics. So he was surrounded with young athletes. Like you don't really, he's protected out there with great defenders, Butler, Kuminga, Draymond. And he's not as the center with Kaminga and 3 guards. That's like the worst possible scenario. That's worse than Kevon Looney. He's not, if you play him with Moses Moody and Pajemski starting, if you just play him without Kaminga, frankly, it's trouble. Like he can't be out there without protection. So that's how I feel about Horford.
And we'll see, man. That's the beauty of the NBA season. We got 79 more of these, which I'm elated for. I want to really quickly give Moses Moody's stat line, who, again, his first game of the season, he'd missed the first 2, dealing with with a calf strain. He didn't look great. I don't think he looked bad, but he didn't look great either. And he certainly wasn't shooting well. He was only 1 of 6 from the field. That one made field goal, a 3-pointer. He was 1 of 3 from deep. Did make 4 free throws. He was 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, added 2 rebounds. So a 7.2 rebound night for Moses Moody. Added a steal, did have 2 turnovers. They just look, if Moses Moody was himself tonight, maybe they have a shot in this. But one of the many stats that stuck out to me, and then we'll have a nice deep discussion on Brandon Pajemski here. We've been building this up for a long time. Side note, I have no idea why there is literally no sound of any kind coming out of Portland in regards to just clips that we can play on the show. Like, they haven't done anything, so I'm guessing it won't be available till tomorrow. Maybe they just got the hell out of there quick. But nonetheless, so Moody has a so-so night. One stat though that I wrote down on my notes, which I thought was completely unacceptable, just not cool at all, and that's the Warriors bench. In the first half of this game, the Golden State Warriors. Let me get my halftime box score. I apologize. Okay, so in the first half, the Golden State Warriors bench scored 5 points. 5. You can count on one hand. Unacceptable. The Warriors scored 56 points in that first half. Only 5 came from the bench. 2 from Buddy Hield, 2 from Trayce Jackson-Davis, 1 from Moses Moody from a free throw. Brandon Pajemski had 0 points in the first half. Will Richard, we'll excuse him a little more because he's a rookie, but he had a big fat 0 in the first half. GP2, whose minutes I don't know how you can defend. I don't know how you can justify it. 0 points in the first half. For this game as a whole, and this is the first time I'm looking at this now. I'm curious to see if the bench did any better in the second half. So in the final box score, the Warriors scored 119 points in this game. And of those 119, I'm doing the math in my head here. So 15, 23, 30, 34, 37 total bench points for the Golden State Warriors. So they did score 32 bench points in the second half. But bottom line, if your bench is doing that, and this Warriors team is supposed to be one that has solid depth, did not look like a team that had good depth tonight, you're going to need more contributions from your bench. And again, in the final box score, Buddy Hield only scored 2 points. Awful night from Buddy. Awful. That's utter garbage. And he's been flying under the radar until now, me calling him out at this moment. Moses Moody, 7 points. Trayce Jackson-Davis, 6 points. Brandon Pajemski, all 8 of his points came in the second half when the game was already out of reach. Will Richard finished with 7 points. I'm sorry?
The pod special.
The pod special.
Garbage time.
Will Richard, Will Richard, 7 points. Pat Spencer, 4 points. Guy Santos, 3 points. GP2, 0 points. That is your bench. Utterly embarrassing. The one thing that I will bring up, and then we're going to dive into Pajemski here because that's going to be an interesting topic. And then I'll post the link for the audience if they want to come on as well. In fact, I'll do that now if we want to set up the queue. If there's a queue, maybe no one's interested in coming on a program like tonight after a Warriors loss that was just not demoralizing. Again, I'm not looking at this loss as something that's going to linger, and they're still 2-1. They played 3 games in 4 nights. That Denver win was so awesome that the good vibes from that game will carry over, at least for me. Everyone's different. And again, the link is now in the chat if anybody wants to join us. But one thing that I did not like in terms of decisions pertaining to personnel, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, Armando, I love Guy Santos. I've been praising him on this show from the moment he started getting a decent run last year. He can handle the ball like a point guard. He played the point in Brazil. I believe he played a point guard role for the Brazilian national team that competed in the Olympics. Why is he not playing more? But Guy Santos did not get into this game until the fourth quarter. And this was a game where the Warriors were routinely getting killed because of size. In terms of the rebounding battle tonight, and again, the rebounding battle, the numbers hardly ever reflect what we see on TV, or if you're at the game, if you're watching it live. There's rarely, if ever, a correlation when it comes to the Warriors and rebounding numbers, because they're hustling out there so hard. And again, this was something that I thought 2 years ago Steve Kerr was gonna pull back on a little bit, because even he admitted that the amount of energy it takes to win the rebounding battle sometimes costs you on the offensive side of the game, of the court, because you don't have the energy there to be as effective and efficient as a shooter and to make buckets. So Guy Santos, all of his minutes coming in the fourth quarter tonight, he played 10 minutes, 57 seconds. The box score is never where you're going to see his contributions. It's strictly an eye test thing. I love Guy. I don't know why he's constantly like dicked around when it comes to minutes. I don't know why we didn't see him once until the fourth quarter. He plays bigger than his size. He's not a hobbit. He stands, I think, 6'6". He's a strong dude. I like him. And I'm very disappointed that he just is forgotten on this team on certain nights. He came in the second quarter for a brief run in the Nuggets game, I believe, but we did not see him tonight until the fourth quarter. And I just wanted to bring that up because I love Guy. I think if the team actually put a little faith in him, a little trust in him, he would deliver for them instead of just playing this, stay ready type of guy, which is Steve Kerr's favorite mantra. And I'm not cool about that. I'm not cool with it. I don't like that. What are your thoughts on Guy Santos?
Yeah, I mean, I could not agree more. And let me be a little more specific about it. I think tonight, if Guy Santos plays in the Will Richards bench minutes, who's being played at the 3, so you guys judge, is Will Richards good or is he not? Like, it's such a stupid debate. Like, he's being played with 2 guards. It's not good in that context. He should be playing as a shooting guard. Maybe he should be playing over pods. It would be really good with him at that position. They were out there with Buddy Hield, Steph, Will Richards, JK, and TJD or some center, right? And that ain't stopping nobody. That's get murdered. But if Guy Santos is playing in that position as a 6'9" guy who can pass, dribble, and shoot, now you're sizing up. But we have been our community has been so gaslit into thinking, no, he can only play power forward. And it's, if you played Guy Santos over Brandon Pajemski in the Nuggets games, and don't get it twisted, Brandon is playing small forward on this team.
Yeah.
And by double digits. That's how bad this small ball is. It's a effing joke. And they don't need no Steph legend game, to get to this nice little hamstring right here coming up. So that we can let Steph rest. So Guy is a big part of another guy who's not being properly used, for sure.
And Brandon Pajemski, it's time to get into that. And there's going to be a lot to talk about because he did come off the bench, which was a little surprising, given how much Steve Kerr loves him. And Pajemski has been a starter in the first 2 games. He was pulled tonight. Quinton Post starts over him. The decision does not pay off. But Pajemski, I want to read his first. I'll read his first half lines and then his total lines, because what he did in the first half was so abysmal and needs to be mentioned. Brandon Pajemski in the first half played 11 minutes, 48 seconds. He didn't make a single shot. He was 0 of 6 from the field. He was 0 of 2 from deep. His only contribution, he had 2 contributions. I apologize. He had 4 rebounds, and that's what Pajemski does. He grabs boards, and he also had 2 steals. I don't remember those steals at all, but the box score says it, and I'll believe it. He also had 1 turnover. His line for the game tonight was he played 22 minutes, 27 seconds, 2 of 9 from the field. He did hit 1 3 in the second half. He also only had 1 3-point attempt. So he was 1 of 3 from the field, made 3 out of 4 free throws, had 5 rebounds. But this stat, this is what I've been highlighting. And I have yet to see any improvement in this category in now year 3 of the Brandon Pajemski experiment. 0 assists. Zero. I mean, the word I keep hearing about Brandon Pajemski from his supporters, from folks who defer to Steve Kerr, from Steve Kerr's mouth himself, I keep hearing this word connector, whatever the F that means, right? Like, I honestly, God, don't know what the hell that means. What does that mean, connector? He's the middle person to pass the ball? I don't get it. Whatever. That's the word that everyone loves to use about Brandon Pajemski. 8 points tonight, 5 rebounds, did have those 2 steals that I don't remember, had 2 turnovers as well. But again, for someone who's supposed to be a point guard, 0 assists. I don't know how you can call him a connector when he never actually, sets anyone up for points. And he led the Warriors in net rating 2 years ago. Last year, he was one of the leaders. So far this season, that net rating stat has not been the same as the previous 2 years. And tonight, a perfect example of that, he was a team worst -17 in net rating. Tonight it was just an ugly look. And Desiree is going to come on the show in just a second. And I feel like Desiree represents that chunk of the fan base who just, whatever Steve Kerr says, they believe and agree with. And Brandon Pajemski is the poster child for that. You have, I think, some other Warriors shows out there who pretend that maybe most of them, in fact, the Warriors media cucks, if you will, who just literally think he's worthy of a max contract. I'm honestly hearing that rhetoric. It's insane. Moses Moody, I think, makes $14 million a year, and Brandon Pajemski does not deserve to make more money than Moses Moody. I don't know how you can defend him routinely when you hear that I just read off to you in terms of stats. Anyone who watched the game tonight saw a listless player who looked lost at times, who I know he rolled his ankle early in the game and came back. Look, if the injury is serious, don't come back. It didn't look like the injury affected him in many ways. I've been trying to be neutral about pods, and I'm going to continue to try to be as neutral as possible, largely because I don't like piling on young players that much. It's not something I'm a fan of. Like if you're a young player, man, you deserve some growth and you deserve some space for growth. Like, you're young. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. It's a part of life. But this is year 3. He's a starter on this Warriors team. I know tonight he wasn't, but he started the first 2 games, and I guarantee he's going to start a lot more. This was an awful look. There's no positive spin. He did not look good tonight. And when Seth comes back and when DeAnthony Melton comes back, I don't understand how you justify playing Pajemski and GP2 over those guys. And that's going to be a major issue on nights where this team loses games. That's going to be a talking point, unless Kerr wisens up and plays the best players. But as we heard last night, Steve Kerr didn't even think about his 5 best players, depending on what you believe. But a lot of people think Al Horford is the 5th. He didn't think about that until yesterday. And I know you think maybe that was sarcastic. I pray that was sarcasm, because it would at least offer some reason behind such an asinine take as just being that clueless. Your thoughts on Brandon Pajemski? This was not a good game, and the more we see of him, I'm not seeing improvement. I'm not seeing anything that I really like, man, and it's starting to become a little disappointing. What are your thoughts?
Okay, every week on here saying the same thing about Mr. P, and but so I was thinking about what new one-liner could I come up with today to talk about it. Watching pods play sometimes is like when you accidentally hit a button when you're playing 2K and your player just spasms out of control and almost injures someone else. That's what it's like watching Brandon Pajemski play. And I feel like this has happened a lot of times with me and my cousins. We point something out that we're seeing on the floor pretty much like a year before everybody else kind of becomes general knowledge. And it is pretty astonishing seeing some mainstream media figures, and I see it as on threads starting to recognize the poor defense, like the zero resistance. And I want to refer you guys again to our YouTube Sprewell Was Right channel, where we broke down play by play Al Horford and Brandon Pajemski's extremely poor defense. And by the way, Brandon Pajemski cannot be on the floor with Quentin Post. It's not possible because the scouting report says just to put the two of them in a pick and roll, and it's just 2 points automatically. I want to give two things have changed with Pods that I've noticed the last 3 games that we've seen in what's going on for him. Why it's even worse than last year. I mean, for us, he was a G League player last year, even when he was scoring 20 points a game during the against the tanking teams. Like, we saw what was happening, but this year it's even worse because 2 things have changed. So one, I mentioned this earlier, they're not running the motion offense anymore. That's not what they're doing. So he's being told to go stand in the corner because it's Jimmy ball. It's attack. Sorry, you're muted.
I'm muted. Sorry. I was going to say, you brought that up earlier in the show, and that's an interesting observation that you're making here, because you're right. We're not seeing the same level of ball movement, not ball movement, I'm sorry, player movement off the ball that we're accustomed to. Like I'm seeing a lot of Kaminga standing in the corner. I'm seeing basically a lot of split action, and that's it. Where there is some movement around where the ball is, but off the ball, especially on the other side of the court, people are just standing around. You're saying that's a Jimmy Butler effect?
Yeah, totally. It's because Steve Kerr's scared of Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler's the coach on this team, other than the lineups. And so he's the one telling people what to do. He's trying to empower Jonathan Kuminga. That's what's happening this year. And it's a freaking good thing. But Steve Kerr ain't saying shit to Jimmy Butler because Jimmy's the man. But it's affecting Brandon because Brandon's not getting – he's not even bringing the ball up the court. And he's not – he's not even the connector in the offense anymore. So he's not even getting thrown hand grenades. He's just being left wide open, and he's not spreading the floor. Other teams are helping off him big time, and then they're just closing out, and he's bricking like crazy. He's gonna have some big games coming up just because that's the way the scouting report is. But the second thing that is happening to Pods, and we were saying this last year, well, frankly, 2 years ago in his rookie season, but I'm really surprised it took until this year for it to make it to the scouting report. But do you guys notice that his slow down, pivot to nowhere pump fakes are not catching anybody by surprise anymore? Like, that is a huge, huge change in his game.
Tonight it was bad. I don't know. The Nuggets game, I saw some people faked out, but tonight I would agree it was not effective.
Okay, well, I saw guys staying down on the ground in all 3 games. So I think it's on the scouting report. And maybe it will work against some teams that come in unprepared. But that was huge. He doesn't have the confidence to attack because those pump fakes are not working anymore. That it's just so easy to game plan that. And we've been surprised that it's taken this long. It's been a mystery to us. But yeah, so that's a couple things going on. But I do want to give him some credit on defense because I think this is similar to my Kerr's comment was so stupid about the lineups that I'm wondering if it's sarcastic. Like, it's so idiotic. It's a fireable offense. So it's similar to that. Like, Brandon Pajemski, his closeouts, he is the closeout dungeon master. Like, it's the worst I've ever seen. It's worse than Buddy Hield. Like, when he's in rotation, so they set a pick on Pods, they double team the ball handler, the ball starts moving, and it ends up in a man that Pods has to rotate to. And so he's flying at them. He's on turbocharge. He's like a ADH kid on a Magic Red, on a Red Bull going at them with the hair flopping. He's out of control. And guys, the other team doesn't even need to put a move. Like, they just literally step around him. And people ask, well, it doesn't look like teams are isolating him the way LeBron or James Harden would do in the playoffs. That's not how it works in 2025 anymore. They just get the weak spot in the action. That's how it works. And so he's just turning around. It's so bad. I've been starting to think, I wonder if it's by design, because it's so egregious, and they don't take him out for it. Like, they just say, he just sort of shrugs his shoulders and then they move on. It's so bad. And I've been wondering, and I've been trying to rack my brain, what would be the logical explanation? It's possible, to give him credit, it's possible that they know that guys, the bigger guys that he's guarding, can just easily shoot 3-pointers over him. They must have seen some stat that when he's contesting a 3, it's probably like an above average shot. And so they might be telling him, you have to just run your man off the 3 because it's a layup shooting a 3-pointer against Brandon Podolensky. So it's possible that he's being told to run guys off. That's the only logical explanation. But that just tells you he can't be on the court, man. This is the NBA. This is a gauntlet. Like, they got to win games, man. Games to make it into the playoffs. So I don't replace those minutes. And this is a championship roster. You know, there's a championship roster lurking on here, and that he's a big person that is just getting the Miho treatment, man. It's not even Kerr's son anymore. It's okay, Miho. Try harder next time. It's all good. You know, doesn't matter how bad it gets. Like, you're gonna get another try tomorrow. Get back out there, Miho. And he's already. Oh, couple more observations on pods. You guys, real quick,
do you want to give those observations now, or do you want to hear from Desirio and then push back with some more of those observations? Your call.
I'll just give this last one. It's a little funny because, anyways, but then we'll talk to
Desi,
your friend, and
he's your friend. He's your buddy. I thought he has sleepovers at your house, dude.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but you guys notice that Brandon Pozemski is getting hurt a lot the first 3 games? He's like asking out of the game a few times.
Tonight he rolled the ankle. I noticed that. Yeah.
I do this. And then he came back a few plays later. He does the 2-finger. Okay, folks. Last year when it wasn't going well for him, he took a mental health break, and all that stuff about potentially Jonathan Kaminga being a problem because he's some kind of malcontent, and they're saying he's grown on and off the court. Freaking offensive when people say that. The real problem that might be coming in the media is this young man getting replaced in the lineup. He got benched today. That's a big shift, and it ain't just like that means they're seeing what we're kind of been saying.
And Armando, it isn't just that he got benched. He was the 4th guy off the bench. Right. It was, I think, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, and Trace Jackson Davis came off the bench before him. It's notable. I don't think that's something you can just ignore.
Man, and he is he going to be restricted in the summer? Can you look that up, Cy? Like his contract situation?
I can just tell you what. So he's starting year 3. No, he will not be a restricted free agent after this year.
He's eligible for his extension. Yep.
He will be correct. He will be eligible, but if they don't come to an agreement, it'll be like Kuminga then last year.
And I think because of what happened to Kuminga and the molester guy in Chicago, that
Josh Giddey,
that the players know they can't really get to restricted free agency, so they got to sign sooner than later. I think that's going to have an effect. So I don't know. We people need to start the Brandon Podolensky agent, NBA agent watch. Who is it? We need to identify it because.
Well, I can find that right now. I think
I'm not sure the situation.
Basketball Reference, I think, listed, right? I'll look that up real fast. I am curious to know who his representation is as well. But so what do you think? So you think that it's going to be a contentious negotiation?
What's going to happen? No, but I'm just saying there's pressure. What is Brandon's off-court attitude when he gets benched this year? Everybody's talking about Melton coming back. I mean, Moody's back. Like, he's already benched. He's really bad. He's really, really bad. And he's someone that is very outspoken in the media, and he has a lot of play with the media. He's a made man. So I'm just curious. I'm just asking the question, what is the off-court attitude is going to be like for the rest of this year if he actually gets benched, which is what needs to happen for them to win a championship. So
100% agree with you there. I just don't know what he can do to make himself valuable. Like, it's not like he can just magically become consistent as a 3-point shooter, because that's lacking. I don't know how he can magically start becoming an assist machine, getting his teammates involved, because that ain't happening. And Armando, like when I bring up the Hobbit ball stuff, and I mentioned earlier, and I'll mention it again, and Desiree, we're going to bring you on in just a second. It's not just rebounding, and it's that hurts you when you have that Hobbit ball bullshit out there. It's not just an increased difficulty in scoring because the other guys are taller than you, right? And unless you have lightning fast speed and you're not blowing by them, I don't know how your shooting percentages increase being the smaller player. But your shot blocking becomes ineffectual when you are shorter. And Pajemski does not have your typical Warriors wingspan either, whereas Moses Moody's wingspan is like 7'1", 7'2". Pajemski's, I think, is like his body height. It's equal. I think he's like his wingspan is 6'4", 6'5". So it's nothing noteworthy there. And I bring up the Hobbit ball stuff because, again, the Warriors had a lineup out there, indefensible in my book. I don't know how the hell people continue just turning a blind eye to this, but I guarantee if you're tuning into one of the other shows right now, they're not bringing up the fact that Steve Kerr rolled out Pat Spencer, Pajemski, Moody, Will Richard, and Jimmy Butler out there together. That's arguably a 5-guard lineup, dude. It's insanity. And when you have a lack of height out there, the other team is suddenly going to find it a hell of a lot easier to put up shots. Portland tonight, from the 3-point line, first of all, from the field in general, they shot 53.8%. Okay, that's damn good. Your defense failed if you're giving up 50% or better shooting to the opposition. But where your defense really effed up is from the 3-point line. Portland tonight, and Denny Avdia was like the poster child of this. Just that dude was unstoppable. I mean, the Warriors had no answer for that. Side note, you would think a coaching strategy for Denny Avdia would be put Draymond Green on him, right? I didn't see that once, and the why of that is a huge mystery. But Portland was 16 of 34 from beyond the arc. That's 47.1%. That is a lethal 3-point shooting percentage. Between the Warriors' lack of bench play and giving up that level of 3-point shooting, the turnovers were abysmal as well. The Warriors, again, 25 turnovers in this game tonight. 25! That is a lot. And Portland wasn't innocent themselves. They had 18, but again, 7 less than the Warriors. But 47.1% shooting from beyond the arc, and opposing teams routinely shoot the 3-point ball effectively against the Warriors, largely because when an opposing player decides to attempt that 3-point shot, oh, look, it's a 6'2" guy guarding me. Oh, look, it's a 6'4" guy with no hops and no wingspan guarding me. I don't have to worry about this guy blocking my shot. I can be stress-free and relaxed and just put up my 3, and they're going in. It's asinine. I've never seen another organization disregard size like Steve Kerr does with the Golden State Warriors. It's wild shit, man. And on that note, I feel like we've been negative enough. Let's get Desiree, who's going to potentially defend Pajemski, or maybe he's coming around. Desi, floor is yours. How are you doing?
Look, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I wanted to start by saying the main reason we lost is our point attack defenders. We have none of them, honestly. Buddy and Paul destroying us defensively, and Quinton Post too. And it's tragic because Pods was bad offensively too. Buddy was bad offensively, and
Awful.
it just led to no impact on both sides of the court. So that was one of the main reasons we were bad.
You sound sad. Is that because of the Warriors?
One thing I noticed was
Desi, stop for a second. You sound like you're depressed. Is it because of the Warriors game? Is it something else? Am I misinterpreting you? What's going on with you?
Nah, it's that I have people sleeping, so I gotta be quieter. That's all.
Makes sense. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. And then one thing I noticed was Jimmy's lack of offensive participation, and they're still running the motion offense. I mean, they're using Curry's as like off ball screener, and he's getting like they're running the offense through motion. It's not just like step pick and rolls, even though there's been more step pick and rolls, honestly, because he's been going crazy. He's averaging like 32. So yeah, he's showing like what a GOAT scorer he is, and like what a one man like offensive engine he is. But honestly, he we're gonna need other contributions. And Kaminga was playing through his mistakes, and he was playing good. And yeah, Kaminga will be the move. I ain't gonna lie, he should be the permanent starter because it's just the defensive versatility he can bring on the court. And offensively, the willingness to pass and play in the offense has just opened up doors as a fit. So his lack of shooting is not even a big problem. And even he shoots better now too. I'm predicting for him to shoot better this season. So whatever he did in the summer with his trainer that you had on the show, it really like it paid dividends, honestly, because his in-game like his sense of feel in the game is just way better. So that's great. And yeah, they're just tired. I just see fatigue, and it's going to be interesting how we hold up for an 82 regular season game. We're going to need the young guys to step in, but Moody and stuff wasn't good. Will Richards, his 3-point shot started going away a little. He wasn't shooting good from three, and yeah,
yeah.
We just gotta hope Melton comes back, because if Melton and Moody could become good, we get our two-way versatility. We get players that could actually have an impact defensively and actually on offense. So we need to pray Moody gets good and Melton is the fix. If we align up with Melton, Curry, Draymond, Jimmy, and Horford, that's my prediction. That's going to be the final starting lineup.
Oh my God,
Melton
I'm
is
with
going
you
to
on that.
so much
I cannot wait for DeAnthony Melton. I also can't wait for Seth Curry. I mean, the true Splash Brothers are going to be back together. By the way, Truth dropped another $1.99. This was a while ago. I apologize for getting to it now. Saying again, trade Kaminga, trade Moody, trade Pajemski. So there you go. You've been heard, friend. Tracy, a new Golden Dazer, saying how long can the Warriors win with the Lollipop Guild lineup? That was a nice secondary nickname we adapted. I forgot who started that. I think it was Rick Barry who actually coined that for in terms of Hobbit Ball. I don't know what $99 in P currency is from Aurelius 911, saying that Steve Kerr's wants so much he isn't hungry. That's an interesting take. I actually haven't heard that before. Who knows? I mean, maybe there's some truth there. But Desiree, look, man, you've been one of the only folks who's been advocating strongly for Pajemski. This has not been a good look, bro. And I feel like you want to be authentic. You want to keep it real. So what are you thinking about Pajemski? Like, do you think this is just an early season slump? Like, do you think like his career's in trouble? Like in other words, like, should the Warriors keep playing this kid? Do you believe that?
No, I'm not concerned at all. This is the third game of the regular season. Like, we are overacting. Once we get a 10-game, 15-game sample of him playing bad, then we could get to conclusions. But
all right,
it's just been 3 games. I don't overreact to nothing. I'm waiting for the law of averages to come back and see if he's going to go back to his statistical averages and have an impact, because he's normally a plus minus god, honestly. So we'll see. I expect him to come back and play better. We'll see though.
But as I'm sure, Desi, you seem like a smart kid, so I'm sure you know plus minus / net rating is a very subjective statistic, right? It doesn't necessarily represent entirely what the individual is doing on the court, because you could have an unbelievable net rating playing alongside other great players and just basically riding their coattails. Theodore Irvin in our chat, or maybe it's Theodore, writing that they were grilling Kuminga in previous years, so call Pajemski out. And I bring this comment up because and I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but I say this with conviction. If Jonathan Kaminga was playing like Brandon Pajemski has to start the season, you would have 2/3 of this fan base calling for his head, calling for a trade, ripping him a new one. Yet for whatever reason, Brandon Pajemski does not get that same level of criticism. He's had an awful 3 games to start this season, and I do not see the chatter out there saying Pajemski's had a bad start. He gets a hell of a pass. There's a double standard there. Do you start to see a little more now, Desirio, why people are upset about the two-sided treatment, where Kaminga seems to always have just the razor thin margin of mistakes, where if he just does any little thing wrong, like people will jump on him. Whereas Pajemski can have a night like tonight, minus 17, just, can't make anything, 0 point first half. Defensively, he's ineffective. And we're the only show probably criticizing him. Like, do you understand why the double standard pisses people off?
Okay, yeah, the double standard from the coach. But
and the fan base. But the fan base and the media who seems to just echo everything Steve Kerr does instead of thinking independently. Do you see that?
No, I feel like that's more like the media members we see asking the questions. That's for sure.
Correct.
But I think the fans are really diverse. I think there's still a lot of Pods haters, honestly. Like, there's still people who critique Pods. So I think it's gotten to the point where there's more Kaminga hate. There's more Kaminga haters than Pods lovers. That's what I think. So, yeah.
Well, you mean the reverse, or no?
The reverse, yeah. I mean, there's like more Pods haters than people who hate for Kaminga, because Kaminga's been playing good. So, yeah, honestly, I think Pod's gonna start getting the critiques this year. This is gonna be that year. If he doesn't show up, this is gonna be the year of people going crazy on him. So, I think eventually, like, everybody gets hate. So, we just gotta hope they play good, because our ceiling is the best team in the NBA if Pods, JK, and Moody could actually take a leap. So, yeah.
All right. Well, again, and Armando, I don't know what your feelings are, but Desiree, his take, and correct me if I'm wrong, Desiree, please, that it's too early in the season to start levying legitimate criticism on Pajemski. Give him 10 to 15 games before we start recognizing the sample size is big enough. Armando, what are your thoughts on Desiree's take there?
Yeah, I mean, it is too early. Brennan Pujemensky is definitely going to have great games, and they're gonna be talking about him on 95.7 and Fitz, and everybody is going to be reveling, and he's going to hit 4, 5, 6 threes one night. There's definitely going to be trash games that don't mean anything where he blows up, and it's going to look great, and it's all good. I mean, like, you guys act like, I don't know, the goldfish memory, but man, like, he was bad for like 2-3 months last year, like literally 17%. And it didn't matter. It did come back around for him. He did get to play he got enough minutes to play well enough to for people to believe in him. So it's going to come back around, and it is a long season. It's self-evident to everybody right now that Kaminga's becoming a god. And, that's going to come back around too, because I think a lot of people assume Melton and Moody are going to come back and eat into Pod's minutes. I don't know what you guys think that makes you think that's a certainty, because Moody has been competing with Jonathan Kaminga for minutes his entire career, and so I think that's the question of the season. When Moody and Melton are healthy, are they playing in Pods' minutes, or are they playing in Jonathan Kaminga's minutes? And one is the go home in a body bag program 4.0, and the other is a championship ring. So again, to that, but I can't go back and forth because people are waiting for me downstairs, Cy. But
and you're in Vegas. So Desiree, any final thoughts? Jesus, Armando, you let everyone down, man. We were looking forward to this like big old. I'm kidding. No, I think most things were said. But Desiree, any final thoughts? And then. Oh, we just lost another guest who was about to jump on. Desiree, any final thoughts from you because Armando's got to run?
Oh yeah, okay. So TJD is just bad offensively. He's small, so he can't even guard big center. So I don't understand the concept of him being better than Al Horford. Al Horford is good. We just need Al Horford back. That's honestly, because rebounding is bad.
What are your thoughts on Quentin Post though? Because I was critical of him at the start of the show tonight, and I think that was justified. He just like. He's one of these guys, like, he's not making mistakes out there necessarily, so he's not doing a lot to criticize. But when you're a starter in the NBA and you're not making waves either direction, I don't think that's a good thing either. And I don't think defensively he was effective. I just don't think he's doing much out there. What's your take on Quinn Post?
Nah, Post looks soft. Defensively, he was just getting put in every action, and offensively, he really wasn't doing anything. Honestly, I mean, he had that 1-3, but he wasn't really helping our offense tremendously. So he was really bad. And GB2 was bad too. Like GB2 should not be in the rotations when everybody's healthy. So
look at you coming around. I like that. All right.
Horford is he's our savior, honestly. Horford is going to be the one that takes us to the mountaintop. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm just trying to tell you.
No, Desi, I'm with you. And the professor and I, it's okay, man. We don't have to agree on everything. In fact, it makes the show better if we don't. I like the Horford signing as well. I also get what Armando's saying, and Armando, your cousins as well. I get what you're saying about Al Horford in terms of the lack of athleticism, in terms of the fact that, there are going to be nights where he's probably just abused out there, but at least the first test was passed, right? And that was the Nuggets game. I thought he held his own enough against Nikola Jokic, where he was more of a positive than a negative. Would you agree with that, Armando? Like did Horford at least play good in your eyes in the Nuggets game?
He did.
No.
He did.
No.
Horford.
No.
How do you say that?
So even though they won,
did you not watch the
not
game? They did not watch the same game. Did you not see how switchable Horford was? Did you not see the OT overtime? Did you not see that pass he did to Will Richards? Like, come on. Like, Horford has impacted the game way better than anything TJD or Quinton Post could do. He's brought another, defensive, level to our team, and while still giving us offensive impact. Did you not see those clutch-ass threes? Like, you can't deny Horford's impact. Come on. You can't. There's no way you could deny Horford's impact.
I agree with you, Desi. I agree. Armando does not agree. And he pushed back.
So what I've seen is 3 games, and he played 20 minutes of the most abysmal defense I've ever seen against the Lakers. That game was we were about to blow the Lakers out, and in the end of the third quarter, we broke it down on Sprewell Was Right. He gave up layup after layup after layup and brick 3 after brick 3. And the Lakers came back. They pushed it to 7 points, and then we had to bring back in Jimmy Butler. That not resting the guys in the fourth quarter against that Lakers team that was not prepared to play. The Lakers, I believe they beat Minnesota tonight. They just were not prepared against the Warriors. They just weren't ready. And that us having to bring the starters back in the fourth quarter of that game because of the Horford minutes is part of the reason we were so fatigued tonight. Fatigue on this team, Horford being out, is a feature of the system, not a bug. Against the Nuggets, he did what you're supposed to do. He made corner threes in 2025. I love it. Good for him. But then he sat out the next game. So we're talking about 1 game out of 3. So just zoom out a little bit. So that I don't think we should go back and forth. We'll have this debate a lot, and I do think I'm going to be a minority voice on this. Everybody wants. I think. What's your name? Desario? Wario?
I just go Desi for short.
Oh,
it's
Desi.
Desario.
Yeah.
So I think your opinion on Horford is probably 70, maybe 80% of fans believe what you're saying. And so I fully think I'm just going to be the crazy guy in the town square, just like I was in 2023, telling people that Klay Thompson was completely unplayable and costing us game after game after game. So it's
I was with you on that one.
Kind of situation for me, and I'm fine
Armando,
with it.
I was squirming on my couch seat as well when Klay Thompson played 31 minutes in that play-in loss to the Kings. That was a disaster. But by the way, a new Jesse 45 in the chat writing that we haven't had a center in years that could do what Al Horford was doing. I'm not bringing that up to necessarily to praise Horford, but to remind people how sad it is that the Golden State Warriors have never given Steph a legitimate big outside of DeMarcus Cousins, but wasn't he coming back from some injury for that? Like, it's insane. Imagine if Steph had a real big next to him. It's wild, dude. And the Warriors just won't do it. And the why of that is most likely because Steve Kerr is picky, right? Like every big that you can imagine that you think to yourself, oh my God, he'd be incredible. Like I saw in the chat at the beginning of the show tonight, Walker Kessler's name came up a few times, right? Like maybe the Warriors can trade with the Jazz and get Walker Kessler. Does Steve Kerr want him? Would Steve Kerr play him? That's the variable you have to consider with every one of these discussions. And Steve Kerr's a picky mofo who may or may not play that guy. But imagine if Steph just had a legitimate big just once in his life, dude. He could have had 8 championships. He could have doubled his count, dude. Like we saw what he did with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's essentially a big. It's just kind of depressing, isn't it? Or maybe not. I don't know. Armando, you got to run. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I gotta go. But I encourage you guys, please check out our Sprewell Was Right. We're having fun. We only have one mic, so the sound is bad. We're gonna get better. I promise you that, and we're gonna figure out a way to be there. But we've been having fun, and we call it the Wine and Watch series. It's been fun. We get drunk, break it down. Bad defense. Very good.
So Armando, you're in Las Vegas right now, and I know you said you got to run and make them wait, right? Who cares? No, I'm kidding. But what is your agenda for Vegas? You already spent time with the sports book. You haven't even shared that experience. Desi, stick around for a second. Don't go yet. What was the chatter in the sports book lobby in terms of the Warriors game? Because it sounded like you were talking with other people, and when you're in Vegas. And side note, Traveling Urquidez earlier was asking you, Armando, how dead is it there? Is it dead? Are there people?
No, man, I can't wait to get out of here right now. I'm gonna go get it in.
It's Vegas, so you haven't had a chance to really experience whether or not it's crowded or empty.
No, it's not. It's nice. It's nice.
Okay,
people are active. Right. It's cool.
Oh, good. Okay, so because there's a lot of stories out there indicating that Vegas tourism is dead or dying, and so you're saying it's lively. But what was the chatter in the sports book, man, when it comes to the Warriors? Were they echoing what we're saying about the size issue, something entirely new? Like what are the gamblers saying in the lounge?
Well, most people are not actually gambling. Most people are this kind of fan where I suspect there's a lot of loud people. Like they're not actually watching the game. Like I literally went with people to watch the game and they're just on their phones, or like people walk by and they're like, oh, the Warriors won. All right. Yeah. Or like, they're like, they went away and they come back and watch Steph legend game for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And it's hella fun. Like that's the majority of fans right there. So it's no doubt to me why people mainly repeat what the media is telling them is going on, which is coming straight from Steve Kerr. That's why we hear the narratives we hear, and they get repeated on when people come on this show to talk. But the gamblers don't want to put money down on the Warriors because they don't know who's going to play. They don't know if Steph is going to have his 40-point game, if Jimmy Butler's going to have a 16 free throw a night game, or if he's going to look like he did tonight. So like that's not a good bet when you're a gambler. You just don't know what this team is, and so that was the experience there. And I, frankly, I get that because is it the go home in a body bag program 4.0, or is this the championship ring team lurking on this team? The gamblers don't know either.
I think number 5's coming, dude. As long as they stay healthy, regardless of tonight, I think number 5's coming. Go have fun, brother. I'm just really appreciative of you for making it tonight because I know that wasn't easy. Given you're in Vegas and it's a later start because of the game. Enjoy it. Hope you win money. What games are you actually going to be gambling on? Meaning, like, are you playing blackjack? Is it just sports bets? What's that?
I'm going to play craps tonight. Craps is the last great American game. Craps is where you can have fun and you can be high-fiving with a Trump supporter, just like you could be high-fiving with your grandma, whatever. It's all good. Everybody belongs in America at the craps table. You win together and you lose together.
Craps to me, I've had a lot of runs where craps is the first thing I play because my whole philosophy with gambling is I have a budget, right? It'll be like 500, 1,000, whatever it is, where if I lose it, that's it. I'm screwed. And my approach, and I don't know if you're the same way, but my philosophy with gambling in a place like Vegas, Reno, Tahoe, I see the craps table, and that's what I attack first, right? Because with craps, you can win a lot of money fast. And I'm sure you know this, dude. Like, you could literally go in there and $100 can turn to 1,000 like that with just one really good run. And then you just take that and that's your weekend, right? And it's social. And if you find someone fun next to you, like they're blowing on the dice and you're just, is everyone smoking inside still? Is that still a thing in Vegas? It's been a couple of years since I've been, but they were smoking then.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good stuff. Well, have fun. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Yep. Take care.
Any final thoughts? Anything before you go?
No, check us out. We'll be posting YouTubes once a week. That's really all we have time for. Because it's not that we don't watch every game. The issue is the editing takes hella time. So
hell yeah. Yep.
I'm hoping at some point we can actually pay somebody to like do the edits, because that's otherwise the videos would be flying. So that's, I have limited time, so it just means like staying up later, but it's all good. It's all good. It's fun.
It's annoying.
I love this stuff.
It's annoying. Editing is annoying. It's just like writing. Same thing. It's not fun when you're done. You feel this gratification, but it's a bitch. Yeah.
I've been trying to train my cousins, because man, sometimes they be saying shit that just is not publicly. I got to get them to learn how to say things in the way that is the monetized way, not the demonetized way, basically.
Yes. You got to teach them what the filter is. Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. Sprewell Was Right is the name of the channel. Armando joins me every Friday here in Golden Days. You can follow him on Threads at Mando_man10. Thanks, brother. Have a great time out there, dude. Beautiful. That's Armando Lara. Oh, whoops. I pushed Desi out. Desirio, before I come back to you, do you mind if we listen to Stephen Curry talk about tonight's game?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from Steph. We thankfully got one soundbite that I've tracked down. This is courtesy of Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle, who again is joining us a week from today. I think he's going to join us from Indiana. The Warriors going to be on a road trip when he comes on. And this is his clip. Here's Stephen Curry after tonight's game. I have no idea how the audio quality will be, so maybe prepare yourselves in terms of the levels, maybe boost it up, just in case it's difficult to listen to. Here is Stephen Curry following tonight's loss in Portland.
Will against certain teams, especially, we know that they have a style that's pressure, try to speed you up, and then they're athletic, so if you turn over, again, the type of turnovers, then it's going to fuel their offense. And they're talented, but if you give them easy buckets, then you just keep applying pressure. So indicative of our night tonight more because of who we're playing against.
What are the counters to that style?
Just try to simplify possessions by getting organized. Did a pretty good job in the first quarter. There's like 3 or 4 minute spurts where they just overwhelmed us with the turnovers into points, and it seemed like every time they had an advantage, they either knocked down a 3 or got to the cup. So good note for next time. Will against certain.
And there was Steph just talking about the frenetic pace of this game tonight. Portland just really pushes that ball fast. It's tough to keep up, and I can see why the Warriors struggle to a certain extent coming off that late game last night, the OT thriller. Desirio, what were your thoughts on that soundbite? Any?
He just exemplifies how crazy that Blazers defense was, because like even last year in the second portion of the season, they were like, I believe, a top 5 defense. Their defense is amazing. They have a lot of point attack defenders, especially with Drew back. Their defense is stacked, and they got that 17-footer. I forgot his name, but yeah, they're stacked defensively. Their defensive intensity, we were not ready for that, especially after that Nuggets game. So I ain't going to blame the Warriors too much about this. Just go, and we got to make sure we get that Grizzlies win.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not hanging my head down either after this game. This is, look, if someone told me a week ago the Warriors were going to start the season 2-1 and the one loss was not against the Nuggets, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. Look, man, they beat the Lakers, which was expected, but they beat the Nuggets, not expected. And Portland's a good team, bottom line. I mean, I'm curious to know what happens when Scoot Henderson comes back. Respect to them for overcoming whatever lingering, emotional haze, if you will, was hanging over them because of the Chauncey Billups scandal. They're a good team, and they're a big team, and I hope the Warriors realize that and adjust in future encounters, because they play each other, I think, at least 2 more times this season. Desi, any final thoughts before we slowly start to wrap the show up?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm interested how they'll do Horford, because I wouldn't play Horford against the Grizzlies, so we can see him against the Clippers, because I think Clippers are a better team. So they're probably just gonna play him in the Grizzlies game, and we're not gonna have him for the Clippers game. So yeah, so it's interesting. So we should look at the NBA in long stretches. We shouldn't overreact in the beginning after 3 games. So I'm just excited to see how we're doing after the 10-game mark and the 15-game mark. And I think November 11th we play OKC. That day is going to be the most important. That's our test for real. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And yeah, I'm gonna go.
And all reports, not all, but at least a report I saw, just one, indicating that November 11th. I don't know if Seth will be available that day or after that day, but I keep seeing November 11th as the date for when the Warriors can sign Seth Curry, and I'm excited for that. They could definitely use his shooting. I'll take Seth. Like, when you look at this Warriors roster in terms of who's playing, who's getting minutes, like, I'll take Seth over Buddy. I'll take Seth over Pajemski. I'll take Seth over Pat Spencer. I'll take Seth over GP2. I don't know about Gui Santos. I love Gui. You coined Gui. I'll let you go with this question. Were you happy with Gui Santos's minutes tonight, or were you disappointed like me that it took until the 4th quarter before we had a chance to see him?
Yeah. No, Curry was going crazy with the lineups. I don't know what he was on. He was having like Jimmy as like a center. I ain't gonna lie, he was tripping for a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if Gui or Gee would have had actual impact. I don't know, because that defense was just, you could see it was just on them. So I don't know. He played okay, but
I hear you on that.
I don't know. We're too deep. I don't know if he's gonna have a role in our team. Even though he's an energy guy, we're way too deep to actually have minutes for Gui or Teji Trace. So we'll see how Kerr does the minutes. That's the most important part. And he's going to be experimenting a lot. So, yeah.
Oh, I don't want experimentation anymore. Desi, always a pleasure, brother. Thanks for coming on. You make life interesting, and I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. That's good news. So enjoy.
You,
yeah.
Hey,
go
Curry
chase some
MVP,
tail, man. You're young. Go out there and get some girls, buddy. That's what you're supposed to do at this age. Shardal is going to join us. Hold on one second here. The reason why I'm saying hold on is because I want to finish up the show reading NBA scores. The scoreboard's back. I'm so excited. I just love the fact that basketball's back. We had a shitload of games on the docket tonight. I'm going to leave it to the chat. Do you want the scoreboard with Shardal or without Shardal? And the scoreboard does mean the music's back. Strip club music, as some people like to call it. I'll leave it to you. For those of you still around, I cannot believe it. On YouTube, 224 people still watching, and we're well over 2+ hours in. Thank you tremendously. Do we want Shardal with the scoreboard or Shardal after the scoreboard? What does the chat say? Julian Bashir saying we want it with Shardal. Yeah, let's do it. Shardal. You always want to co-host with me. How about co-hosting the scoreboard segment? Does that sound good?
I'll co-host the scoreboard segment.
How are you doing tonight? How's your night going? How's your Friday?
Hey, Sai, how you doing tonight? I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. Love all your content and videos on the platform, man. The Golden State Warriors get thrashed by the Portland Trail Blazers, 139-119. It was a tough night. Stephen Curry scored 42 points in the home opener. He scored 35 points today against Portland. Steph Curry's hands down the greatest shooter. I mean, he didn't have a 40 plus shooting performance today, but he still played really well. What were your thoughts on Stephen Curry's shooting performance today?
Fantastic. I mean, look, Steph is Steph. He's a god by basketball standards. He's, you know, we're blessed to have him here in the San Francisco Bay Area as a Warriors lifer entering his 17th season. I think he's the oldest player in NBA history to have back-to-back 35-point-plus games like he has. I saw some stat that was somewhere in that vein. He's killing it. Are you ready to go through the scores and see what else happened in the NBA tonight?
I want to say it was really great going to the Warriors home opener against the Nuggets. The Golden State Valkyries were in attendance. Kayla Thorne was in attendance at the game. Kate Martin was in attendance at the game, and Veronica Burton was at the game. So Valkyries were very well represented last night at Chase Center. It was really great to see Sabrina Ionescu out there at the game. But the Warriors were not able to recreate that performance today. You know, they lost against Portland by 20, but there's still a lot, 79 games left in the NBA season. So this season's not over yet. There's a lot of Warrior games left in the season. So I think Warriors are fine. They're a very resilient basketball team consisting of Moses Moody, Quinton Post, Jonathan Kuminga, Stephen Curry, Guy Santos, Alex Tui, and so many more. I think this team is going to be okay. I think they're going to win that 5th championship, like you said, and that's going to happen. It's going to be in fruition. That's going to happen, down the line. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. So I'm happy that both of us are absolutely ecstatic to see the Warriors win that 5th championship.
I'm with you.
And I'm loving that we share commonalities. Like, we won a 5th championship. You won a 5th championship. I won a 5th championship. I really like that. I really like that we can have those common interests that we two share. That's amazing coming on here.
And let's have another commonality, which is we're both going to discuss other NBA games around the association tonight. It was a packed schedule, and the way this goes, if you're relatively new, I just read the score. I list off some of the top players and their box score. And Shardall, if you have any thoughts, you'll chime in. The Milwaukee Bucks were in Toronto tonight, and they took care of business against the Raptors team that some people think is going to be good. 122-116 the final. Milwaukee is now 2-0. The Raptors dropped to 1-1. Giannis Antetokounmpo, a monstrous 31-point, 20 rebounds, 7 assists game. Brandon Ingram, the new Toronto Raptor, 29 points and 6 rebounds in the loss. The Atlanta Hawks, 111-107 winners tonight. In Orlando, Trae Young, 29 points, 6 assists, 3 steals. Franz Wagner, 27 points, 6 rebounds in the loss. The Hawks 1-1. Orlando drops to 1-1. The Cleveland Cavaliers got their first win of the season, 131-124 winners in Brooklyn. The Nets dropped to 0-2. The Cavs are now 1-1. Donovan Spida Mitchell, 35 points, 3 steals in the win. Michael Porter Jr., 31 points, 8 rebounds in the loss for them. The New York Knicks stay undefeated. They defeated the Boston Celtics tonight, 105-95 at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks now 2-0. The Celtics dropped to 0-2. Jalen Brunson, 31 points. Jaylen Brown, 23 points in the loss. The Detroit Pistons got their first win of the season, 115-111 winners tonight at Houston, who remains winless. The Rockets dropped to 0-2. The Pistons are now 1-1. Cade Cunningham, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists in the win. Kevin Durant, 37 points, 3 steals in the loss. The Miami Heat pouring in points tonight. Their offense was on fire. Bam Adebayo, I believe, hit 4 3-pointers in an audition for the Golden State Warriors. I'm kidding, sort of, kind of, maybe not really. 146-114 winners over the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis. Miami now 1-1. Memphis dropping to 1-1. Jaime Jaquez, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in the win. Jaren Jackson, 19 points in the loss. A final in overtime. This was a thriller. The San Antonio Spurs improving to 2-0. They defeat the New Orleans Pelicans 120-116. The Pelicans dropped to 0-2. Victor Wembanyama, 29 points, 11 rebounds, 9 blocks. Troy Murphy, the third, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals in the loss. The Washington Wizards winning in Dallas, 117-107. The Wizards improved to 1-1. The Mavericks dropped to 0-2. Keontae George, 34 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks in the win. Anthony Davis, 27 points and 13 rebounds in the loss. And I'm actually looking at the box score for the Wizards just to see.
So the Warriors, the 20-point loss for the Warriors against the Blazers, did it suck the life out of you, realizing that we had such a great game against Denver, we won in overtime, it's with exciting thriller, and we come in Portland and we lay an egg and we lose by 20? I mean, like, that's not the way you like to do it. Your teams want to be consistent, but you're not going to win every single game in the season, right? I mean, you're not going to win every game, right? That's not feasible, right? Like, it's not like it's hypothetical. Like, you're going to lose you're going to win some games and lose some games, right? That's how it works. You're not going to win. You're not going to go 82-0. I know, like, that was really cool when the Warriors went 73-9. Remember when Warriors were 73-9? They beat the Bulls record. Remember that?
Yes.
You remember that?
But they didn't win the championship. I remember that too.
No, but this was a tough loss today, man. But we have 79 games left, so you need to think on the logical side that we still can and win more games still.
Yes, sir. Well said. And Shardal, I'm not letting this game tonight bring me down. I think they're going to overcome this, and this is just one of many. It's a learning experience.
I try and be as positive as I can. Even though we lost, I'm still trying to be as positive and saying that our team are very resilient.
Yes, sir. By the way, I messed up. Keontae George is on the Jazz. Keyshawn George is on the Washington Wizards.
So my friend is a Utah Jazz fan. He watched the Kings and Jazz game. He was very upset that Walker Kessler had the ball, and then it went to Domantas Sabonis, and Sabonis laid into the game-winning basket, and the Jazz lost by a point to the Kings, 105-104. But he was very mad about the game. I mean, he was like so pissed off, like he was cursing and swearing, and he was not having the best day, seeing his hometown Utah Jazz against the Sacramento Kings.
There you go. And we'll get to the Kings score in just a second. Up next, the LA Lakers got their first win of the season. Shardal, I think, in my opinion, just my opinion, I think the Lakers fan base is easily the most delusional, the most ignorant, and the most annoying. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I totally agree with you. Like, I would not agree with you even more. I hate the Lakers, hate LeBron James. He now owns, he's the owner of Hennessy VSOP. He owns his own Hennessy brand now. A lot of Warrior fans are trolling LeBron that he's LeBron James because he owns a Hennessy brand now. So they're mocking him, and I think that's funny. And then when they said he had sciatica, there was a beer that said Le Sciatica beer, and people were joking that he had sciatica, and they were making a whole meme about that. Then he was out with the sciatica from the Lakers. So they were making a whole meme about him having the sciatica, and then it was a beer with 3 to 4 weeks about him having sciatica, and they were joking about that and making a little foolery and mockery of that. Like, there's a lot of memes around LeBron. I think there's if you look online, memes around LeBron, you'll find a lot of memes around LeBron James.
I feel like the meme game in general is on fire right now, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, the people making the content. Chef's kiss, kudos, unbelievable. We got 3 more games, 3 more and we're done. The Lakers defeating the Timberwolves tonight, 128-110 at Crypto. Luka Doncic with 49 points to go with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Anthony Edwards, 31 points in the loss. And that game you were talking about where your buddy's a Jazz fan, the Utah Jazz were in Golden One Center tonight, taking on the Sacramento Kings, who got their first win of the year, 105-104. I want to take a look at that box score to see who did what. Lauri Markkanen in the loss, 33 points, 4 rebounds.
So if you want to listen to there's a YouTube channel that you should tune into. They cover the Kings, Deuce and Mo. Mo Reagan and Deuce. They're two Kings broadcasters. They cover games on MC Sports California Plus, and they do a great job covering the Kings. They're two great people. They cover the Kings.
I'm not saying they're not, but Mark Haynes hosts Believe in Kings. That's all I need for my.
The reason why I'm saying that is that Morgan is a very, she's really the one of the broadcasters for the Kings. She's a really good. I mean, she does a great job calling the Kings. They're a couple, Morgan and Deuce.
Where did this come from, by the way? I know I've heard of them. Yatin Ketty in the chat saying, "You simp, enjoy the loss." Who are you calling a simp? Because I don't see this. It just came out of nowhere. Are you?
He's a troll. Show? He's a troll. He's trolling, coming on here and trolling us in the chat. He's saying stuff like, "What? The simp?"
I'm just curious who was saying that to. Because
who is that person?
Comment from that person. I'm like, who are you talking to?
Who is that? Who is he talking to?
I don't know. Who is he? And the Sacramento Kings tonight.
I love coming on here.
The Utah Jazz. Ace Bailey, the rookie, was held. Oh, I just bit my lip. Was held to no points. 0 points for Ace Bailey in 13 minutes of play.
I feel so happy coming on here because normally you just close the show out, but I'm so happy that I get to, come on and talk about the games. I get to stay here with you till you close the show out. So I'm really happy that I'm really happy that you have me on the show tonight.
Do you have the new iPhone 17?
I don't have it yet.
Okay, are you gonna get it?
No, I'm thinking about it.
Me too. It actually looks pretty cool. Keontae George of the Jazz scored 18 points, dished out 10 assists for Sacramento with their win. Domantas Sabonis, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Zach LaVine had 31 points, a team leading 31. And my boy Mark Haynes was telling me that Malik Monk had an awesome night tonight. The stats confirm it. 7 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9 shooting from deep for Malik Monk. 20 points off the bench in the win for the Sacramento Kings. I'm curious if Dario Saric played. He did. He played 16 minutes at 5 points, 2 rebounds. Dennis Schroeder had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I'm trying to. Oh my God, I'm bleeding here. Okay, and one more score. We're done. You ready?
You ready? I'm ready to hear the last score.
All right, the last score. Do I have a drum roll? I do. It's a bongo.
Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
You're correct, Chardal. The last game, the Suns lost at LA. The LA Clippers, 129-102 winners tonight. Over the Phoenix Suns. James Harden, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Devin Booker, just 18 points, 7 assists in the loss. Chardal, I predict bad things for the Suns this year. What do you think?
Why do you predict bad things for the Suns? They have Devin Booker. So I think
that's it. Who else do they have?
They have nobody.
Exactly. That's why I predict bad things.
So they're screwed because they have nobody. They just have Devin Booker. They don't have nobody else on the team. They just have Devin Booker. That's it.
Chardal, I'm gonna read to you some names and let me know if you've ever heard of these people. Oso Ighodalo.
No, I have never heard of that guy before in my life.
He was a starter for the Suns tonight. I've never heard of him either. Have you ever heard of Nigel Hayes Davis?
No, I haven't heard of anybody of those before ever. That name doesn't ring a bell in my head, so I don't know.
Same. He played 21 minutes. Have you heard of Rasheer Fleming?
No, I don't. Who are these people that you're naming?
They're NBA players for the Suns. Have you heard of Colin Gillespie?
I don't know any of these players. I'm not a Suns fan.
Minutes.
I'm not a Suns fan. Why are you naming all these ambiguous names? I have nobody.
You're an NBA fan. I thought maybe
I don't recognize any of those.
All right, so we're done. That's and real quick, KKS in our chat, a Golden Dazer. Thank you for the support. Saying not a fan of Morgan. I think that's in reference to Deuce and Mo. Is that correct?
Deuce and Mo.
Mo is Morgan, right?
Mo is Morgan Reagan.
What are your thoughts? What's your response to KKS? He's saying
I'm a big fan of Morgan and Deuce.
KKS thinks Mark Haynes is better. I agree, but
so viewers, make sure to click that like button. smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Psy and Golden
Hell
Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. And also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 480 subscribers. I'm just 20 subscribers away from 500. So make sure to smash that like button, ring that notification bell, and click that like button if you like to tune into great Golden State Warriors, San Jose Sharks, San Francisco 49ers, and San Francisco Giants content. Make sure to subscribe. I love your support. I love everybody coming on my channel and giving me all the love. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of you, and I love coming on your show.
Big fan of you as well. And so we're off this weekend. Sherdal, what are you doing this weekend?
So I'm going on the 26th of October. I'm going to Great America. That's the last operating day for Great America. We close and then we reopen in April. We reopen in April.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna go for my last time. I'm a big fan of you, and I hope you have. Thanks for having me on the show, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
What's your
prediction
for the Niners at the Texans? That's Sunday football.
My prediction for the Niners over the Texans, I'm saying 49ers win 45-42 on a 51-yard game-winning field goal by Eddie Pinheiro to close out the game.
And last question, Shardal, for you and for the show. The Warriors next play Monday, October 27th. They take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Another back-to-back set. They host the Grizzlies Monday and then the LA Clippers on Tuesday. Any predictions or thoughts, Shardal, on either?
I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies winning 145-115. Curry and Butler going off for 70 or more points. And what's the other game?
The LA Clippers.
I'm going with the Warriors winning over the Clippers 130-125, and I'm going with Pajemski and Stephen Curry combining for 60 or more points.
All right, good stuff. Before we go in the chat, TFNC2173 asks, when is Kaminga coming on? No date set on that. It's going to happen, obviously. I wouldn't say that with that. I wouldn't lie to you. But we're trying to just figure out the right window of time, and part of that is whether or not he's going to join us remotely. Yeah.
When I went to the Warriors and Nuggets game, I had a pulled pork sandwich. I had a Modelo Especial beer and an ice cream sandwich for dessert.
All right, good stuff. Shardal, have a great weekend, all right?
Hey, Sai, thanks for having me on the show, and I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you back here on another Golden State Warriors post-game show. I'm glad that I got to stay on here, and because normally you have to get to other people and you let me go, but I love that you had me stay on for the rest of the show until we close it out. So
you're the closer, brother.
You truly made me feel like a VIP today.
You're a closer, brother. You're the man. I don't know what else to say. Shardal,
have
a great weekend.
I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you back here on Golden Days.
Beautiful.
I hope you have a great night, and you're the best man, one of the best people in the business, and I'll see you around.
That's very nice of you, Shardal. Thank you. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What'd you say? What were you gonna say?
I'll see you later, and you are truly the man of the business, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly mean every 99% of the things I truly mean it.
I know you do, brother. Thank you so much. That is the great Shardal.
Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
Yes, sir. Absolutely right. And I can't thank the audience enough, as always. It's never as fun of a show when the Warriors lose. But I share the same sentiments as quite a few others, that tonight's loss is certainly not representative of what's to come. Portland's good. The Warriors retired. And hopefully the coaching staff will learn to make adjustments and build off this. But we're back at it soon. Don't expect us this weekend. Absolute latest we'll be back is Monday night. Warriors and Grizzlies post game again next week. A fantastic lineup of guests. Shea Serrano is coming on the program. Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle beat reporter is going to join the program. He's going to join us from the road. The Warriors are going to start a road trip next week. They're going to play the Grizzlies and the Clippers Monday, Tuesday, and then they're going to hit the road and play Milwaukee Thursday and then Indiana Saturday. And I think that Friday in between is when Sam will join us as he's traveling with the team. So excited for that. And Mark Jones, the voice of the NBA, he's also the Sacramento Kings play-by-play broadcaster, but he reached out. He feels amazing about this Warriors team, and I'm never going to think twice about pouncing on any opportunity to have just one of the sweetest individuals. Mark is just such a good dude. He's a huge heart, amazing family, insanely talented. I mean, how many lines has he espoused as a play-by-play broadcaster that people repeat culturally? He's a whiz. He's a master at his craft, and so he's going to join us. I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. So a jam-packed week of shows next week. Subscribe. People tell me the like button helps out with the algorithm, so if you don't mind hitting that like button, do that for us, please. And otherwise, I think there's anything else. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Friday. And Monday, Warriors Grizzlies. Bye-bye.